yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Take for their disease. Rage just like a weed. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll pay for their disease. Rage just like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we want retribution. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Take for their disease. Rage just like a weed. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll pay for their disease. Rage just like a weed, spread into the streets.
Hello everybody and welcome to Waylander Gaming. This is Waylander here, joined by Shroomsy and Lotus. If you're wondering where Skenkle is, he's a little bit predisposed for this evening. So it's just going to be the three of us who's going to be handling the stream tonight. We have the rest of the remaining fixtures in Group A of the MSA Cup. This is the group stages for those of you tuning in. We will find out after this evening's round of 3 matches who exactly will be qualifying to the knockout stages of the MSA Cup. So, Lotus, Shroomsy, how are you this evening?
Quite interesting to see what's going to happen. Now, I'm quite interesting to see what's going to happen. I mean, tonight is the night we've been waiting for, the big match that's going to be Error 404 versus Renegades. Both these teams are currently top of the leaderboard, and I mean, they both had stellar performances on Wednesday evening. So I think that is the match we are waiting for tonight. So heavily excited, but I mean, Akatsuki as well, they put in a very good performance on Wednesday. So it's going to see if they kept the discipline, going to keep improving, or how this matches are going to run.
Yeah, that is true.
I agree. I also agree with Shrimsy, but also PCR, they played extremely beautiful against Renegades. So I'm excited to see what they'll also be bringing tonight to the table.
Yeah. So first game up is Error 404 versus Akatsuki. As we said, Error 404 put down a big marker yesterday. Very, very strong performance in the first matchup. The opener, shall we say, the curtain raiser to the MSA Cup in its entirety. Akatsuki had their moments within the games they played against Renegade, where there were moments where you say, right, Looks like they're heading towards victory, but Renegades managing to switch gears, especially after a bit of a rocky start in the second match against Akatsuki. But up against Aero 404, very different players, very different composition here. It's going to be a very challenging match. I'm not sure what the strategy is like for them. As we saw yesterday in the match that Aero 404 played, their XP laner Mimi caused a lot of chaos for the enemy team, which was PCR at that time.
I mean, it's interesting to see if they're going to keep that early game dominance they showed in the previous matches, or if they're going to switch it up, do a bit of a comp change. Because, I mean, there is a bit of a player switch also coming out from Aero 404. And, I mean, you can't forget about the small patch we just had. There was the emergency patch of
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I think everyone sort of lagged out. They're frozen on the screen here, but anyway, I'll just wait for them to reconnect. As long as you guys can see me and then hear me, we will continue with this. So just some technical difficulties. There's always technical difficulties, some gremlins in the mix. Though, if ever there was a moment that you wanted to screenshot the two of their faces in a funny pose, right now would have been that time. And we can use that to do something weird. But anyway, the players are getting ready. I know you guys can't see the tournament lobby just yet, but the players are getting ready readying up, because I'm sure based on the votes, we're all anxious to get into the actual match. Yes, Tanrayu. Shroomsy and Lotus are watching Frozen, and like I said, the faces that was frozen on the screen. This is the moment in time that you can take a screenshot. You can do whatever you want to do with it. I mean, this is on the internet. It's if you want to be a caster, if you want to put your face out there, people are gonna make memes of you. So,
of course, bring it on, bro. Bring it on. I don't mind that at all.
If we make memes about Shroomsy, it will be the Nordic Viking chief.
Oh.
Yeah, so Shroomsy, you were just saying about the performance from Era 404 or their drafting style yesterday, and how that could potentially change based on the player lineups. That's where we were last.
Yeah, I mean, we did see that major performance coming out from Mimi, the early game dominance they showed. But there is, of course, a small player matchup that was changed. I mean, Stoner is in the lobby, and there was also Ferrum that was swapped in. So that is both the marksman as well as the roamer that was swapped out for the other players. So the question now beckons is, with your roamer being another play style, because we know Aurum and Stoner both have completely different play styles. Aurum being the more backline support type roamer, have a lot of frontline capability with that Balric match, but overall with Stoner being the more aggressive roamer. So we might see a completely changing play styles with this changes they made.
Yes, that's true. Because Mimi was the aggressor in that match, especially when they played with the Florin. So you had the Bernadetta causing a ton of chaos. Will Akatsuki ban out that Bernadetta, seeing that Era 404 used it in 2 previous matches, and they still have that same XP laner in this lineup?
Might be. I mean, Mimi did a very good job doing that early game rotation after cutting the lane, and that Benedetta made a lot of problems for the enemy junglers, not giving them the farm ability to rotate. So I would definitely, if I was Akatsuki, I would look at banning that out or either picking up from underneath them. I mean, it's a good hero to play after this recent XP laner buff.
Yes, that's true. Akatsuki, on the other hand, they had a very strong performance in the second game when they brought in players like Orochimaru into the mix, and Big Boy as well. They had a very strong early game. It's just once Renegades got their power spike, because they had a little bit more of a mid to late game composition, the game style switched. So 2 teams very strong in the early game matched up against one another. It's going to come down to controlled aggression, I would say. Because you don't really wanna overextend, overcommit. We've got everybody in the lobby right now. If either Lotus or Shroomsy, you can tell them that we're good to go. We can transition into the drafting phase, and well, we can get ready to bring you the action. So for those of you tuning in at home, don't forget to smash that like, share, and subscribe button. And while you're at it, make sure you put your votes in the poll. We are quite interested to see which way you are leaning, who you think's gonna win this best of 3 matchup between Era 404 in the blue corner up against Akatsuki in the red. Right now, it's 76% of the votes going the way of Era 404. So they seem to have the viewers captured their heart. But anyway, that's enough from our side. Let's get into the drafting phase.
So, I mean, overall, it's going to be a good match that will come up. But I'm looking to see the draftings. Did the teams do homework against each other? I mean, Era 404, it's a new lineup that we did see feature in this MSA Cup. Also, Akatsuki being one of the first times they did feature in an official tournament. So the question is, was homework done? I mean, first ban of the match going Uranus. I mean, Orochimaru is one of the biggest Uranus players out there. He loves that match all together. And I mean, Akatsuki going for that Benedetta ban, as we mentioned, that is broken.
That is true, and right now they're just also being clever, making sure not to have Era 404 pick that Benedetta up. And if you can't play it and you don't want your enemy team to get it, ban it. However, we do see Mimi getting the next ban of the game. Still waiting on a food ban. Goes for the Lapu Lapu.
That's quite interesting. I mean, so I'm still wanting to see this Lapu in play. I mean, after this emergency patch they did bring out, Lapu's lifesteal went from 30% plus 8 to 20% plus 8. So it all depends on the change they made, if that's going to impact him. But I don't think it's going to make a major impact as Akatsuki bans out the Hylos. As you know, Hylos is one of Stoner's main heroes he got top SA with. So very, very good ban from Akatsuki.
True, every time I think of Stoner, I immediately see the Hylos because whatever games I usually see him playing, he always took the Hylos.
I mean,
So,
he has a very versatile hero pool. He plays Hylos, Khalid, and Gatu is his 3 mains, but huge hero pool overall.
As Florin is banned out from the side of Era 404 and Zetian taken out by Akatsuki. Zetian seriously does not get much of a chance to play, so it would be cool to see her actually in the 5-man scene, but nobody wants to give her that spot.
I mean, you don't want to take a risk if you haven't experience on how to counter it. I mean, I found one of the best counters is, of course, the Khalid. But my question now is, Loki showed us a dominating performance with that Eve. So is he going to stick with the Eve, or are we going to see a new hero coming out as we do see Mimi picking up the CC? Still a very, very good pick overall, I have to say.
True, the amount of damage a CC can deal, but still with the amount of sustain that she can also get, is actually crazy. And Leland VZ takes up the Kadita, and Pain picks up the Teresla.
So this is a very interesting combination between the XP laners and the mage. So they both pair very well with a set hero, like maybe an Atlas that got a buff, or the Tigreal. Or if you want to go a book out of the, take a page out of the books, another combination is Kadita with Kalia. That is the one-shot masters. I mean, as soon as you get that Tsunami Slam off, you know you are dead.
That would actually be extremely interesting to see someone actually using that composition. However, Stoner picks up the Kufra, once again showing us that wide hero pool that you were mentioning earlier, and Ferrum picks up the Fermus. So Fermus is pretty good in team fights.
Overall, I mean, that ultimate, that Nether Realm can save your whole team from getting deleted in one strike. But the other question is, I see Ferrum going for the Faramis. That will, of course, be Faramis in the mid lane. So Is Loki going to take over then the jungle or the marksman roles? But that is the question. I don't know where he's going with this team comp, but I mean, I'm a tank, but not scared of the enemy team picking up that Irothel and without a Purify nonetheless.
That is true. And also, Akatsuki is banning out that Harith. So, definitely, if I remember correctly, Harith counts as one of Arithel's counters. Is that correct?
It all depends on playstyle, in my opinion. I mean, Harith and Irothel is a very balanced matchup. So Harith can be able to just dive onto her because Irothel's best feature is the mobility and the burst potential. Harith gets that shield, also has mobility to match her. It is a very good hero to pick into her Irothel. In my opinion, it's a very balanced matchup. It all depends on whose skill is better. But nonetheless, Era 4-4 banning out the Badang. As we've seen the last few seasons, Badang has been a menace in this current patch.
That is true, and Era 4-4 is also making sure to prevent that composition of Kadita, Terizla, and a Badang. However, they're also banning out the Lancelot.
So, I mean, the Lancelot definitely being a respect ban. Big Boy in the previous match he played against Renegades got the gold MVP on that Lancelot, if I'm not mistaken. So, taking out a massive hero. They don't have a lot of lockdown except for maybe the Kufra and the Faramir combination. But other than that, Lance is a slippy boy. And Hayabusa also being banned out from Akatsuki and Orochimaru picking up the Carmilla. So, this is a lot of team fight damage amplification spells. I mean, you have the CC from the Kadita, from the Carmilla, from the Terizla. So it's an overall good combination they have currently.
That is true. However, as you say, that Era 404 also picks up the Leomord and the Melissa. Melissa is actually one of the best marksmen, but she's just difficult to get online at times. And the Leomord, especially so good when it comes to retreat battles or lord fights. What do you think of Era 404's composition?
So I have to say I'm very impressed so far. I mean, they have the balance between damage, sustainability. I mean, Leomord is very, very good into this current lineup. He has the ability to just dive onto the Irothel, match his movement speed and just outburst her and still sustain through everything. Melissa's a good pick in the laning phase. Because of that Tweedledee, you can just outplay the Irothel from range. But I'm interested to see this Hanzo being picked up by Big Boy. And this is the first time we will be able to feature the Hanzo collector skin.
I did not even know about that collector skin. But Akatsuki's composition is also actually quite interesting because, as you mentioned earlier, they have that team fight ability and the heroes to layer the damage and skills. So it would be interesting to see what they show us this evening.
So overall, good drafts coming out from both teams. We just have to remember to report Faramir for no skin. But otherwise than that, Waylander, what is your opinion about the current team drafts?
Yeah, well, as you guys said, very strong drafts from both sides, though. I would say I would favor Akatsuki's draft. Has a little bit more synergy, in my opinion. There is a lot of sustain. It's gonna a lot of the play is gonna come down to the Faramir hitting that nether realm because of the burst potential that comes out from Akatsuki. But no matter how the draft goes, you gotta execute it just right. So into the game we go. It is going to be Era 404 starting off on the red side, whereas we can see Akatsuki on the blue buff, as per usual, shall we say, and then it goes on to the general battle of the mid lanes.
I mean, overall, a very good rotation so far. So none of the gold laners, mid laners immediately running towards the gold lane. We did see that Petrify coming out from Carmilla, so that's already a battle spell that's out for that first gold lane mashup. And very good rotation, showing the patience to not just run into the gold lane, as we know South African players love doing.
Yeah, that is true. That is very, very true. But a poke here onto Mimi on that CC. I think Akatsuki definitely doing their homework, knowing that the XP laner loves to rotate a lot towards the mid and sometimes all the way across. There was a bit of poke damage from Melissa onto the Aerothel. Leomord here, Coyote just setting up. Stoner as well in the mix. Whereas Akatsuki deciding to put the pressure on the mid lane. That's a very, very good strategy from there. Oh, the Muskill coming in from the Hanzo. He's going to have to pull back the continuation of a bit of a fight in the mid lane. Leomord pops that ultimate. They try, oh, nice pull back there from Phantom as the engagement continues. But the passive from Kadita. Just perfect. Perfect timing there. Walks off the damage. It's Stoner that has to recall.
Oh, and there's Big Boy with that Faramis on with the Hanzo onto Faramis. Does not commit the skill just yet. And Kauri in a lot of danger here. The 4v3 Kadita with the rough waves. What a clutch level 4 timing there from the Mage of Akatsuki. Securing the kill onto the enemy jungler.
Yeah, beautifully done there. Lovely play coming through. The turtle being reset because Hanzo needs to reposition himself. He does reposition himself. Jerusalem does have that penalty zone. They are poking in onto Stoner there. Do they go in for a full combination? Oh my goodness, it's going to be Leomord. He's back from the dead. He comes in just the right time. It's a 2v1 situation. The kill's going the way of Error 404. Poke damage onto the Kadita. She's taken down. Triple kill going the way of Leomord. It's Hanzo has to hightail it out from there. So that's going to be an uncontested turtle going the way of Error 404.
Beautiful engagement there coming out from the Leomord. Just being just in time to support his team, getting that triple kill and securing the turtle. But they're not going for the turtle just yet. Waiting for Stoner to come back. As you know, he's one of the best frontliners in our server. And the poke here from Mimi, I love the rotation from Mimi overall. I mean, the aggressiveness just pairs so well with the team of Aero 404.
Yeah, look at that. It's a 2v1 kills going the way of Loki there on the Melissa. He looks like he wants to continue for more. The Hanzo, he scouts out. He goes in with that first kill, trying to do the damage. Will he be able to get the pickup? Oh my goodness. In the Nether Realm. Absolutely beautifully timed there from Ferrum. Saving the Melissa. Melissa must be thanking her lucky stars.
I mean, that was a clutch play. Now, I have to say, GG's to Big Boy. Knowing that he lost the turtle, rather went for that invade onto the blue buff, completely stealing Kauri's farm. So that is a very good rotation overall. But I have to say, that Nether Realm clutches is something that we want to see in this match. It can make or break the entire game.
Yeah. As Hanzo trying to chase this CC under the turret. She's 1 HP. He manages to get the kill, secures it for his team. So nicely done there. Gets the kill onto the XP laner. Can they translate this into any amount of pressure onto this XP lane? As we see Camilla, nice defense, trying to make sure that no pressure is put onto them. And Terista deciding to recall, not wanting to take as much gold as possible. Meanwhile, Aero 404 have gone for a bit of a split here. They want to try and get this Melissa fed a little bit more. She has picked up quite a bit of gold, as we can see from the screen. At this moment in time, 3.5k, a 1k gold lead onto the Aerothel. Melissa just waiting patiently in the bush, waiting for the right moment of time to go in. She does have that Inspire available.
So then there she pops it. The skill is out. Stoner tries to get the knockup, but not committing over. So we still see the Inspire is ready, but Hanzo is into the mix with the Kadita onto that Stoner. We do see the beautiful combination coming out with that Cursed Blood. They're not pushing. Leomord is into the mix. Orochimaru is in a lot of danger. That might be another kill. So that's currently a 1-for-1 exchange. The Roma for Roma. So even exchange heading into the next turtle of the match.
Yes. Yeah, very even exchange. Mid lane being pressured in here. Oh, Melissa underneath the turret manages to get the kill and the first turret of the game. Or actually maybe the second turret of the game. Turista not making the rotation, using the opportunity as CC did push onto the mid lane to take down a turret on either end. But this Melissa, she's getting fed. She's going to be a bit of a problem.
And as we say that the 1v1 of the Terizla versus CC was won by Terizla getting that kill. But meanwhile, beautiful engagement here. Did you see that beautiful Tyrant's Wrath coming out? But as you know, Kadita's very slippery, just using the rough wave to escape back to safety.
Yeah. So right now, Akatsuki, big boy, he's using the Hanzo as sort of a scouting mechanism, allowing a little bit more pressure to be placed, knowing that he can go in, especially once he gets his items up. I think he should be going for, yes, he is going for the what we call the Holy Trinity build, the usual. I'm sure everybody knows what that particular build is. Maybe throw in a little bit of anti-heal into the mix. Oh, again, the engagement onto Erothel. She's going to have to pop that ultimate. Why? Oh, she went into the bush there. Has to disengage Kadita. Just coming in to support this Erothel. Staying safe for the most part. Managing to retreat. Meanwhile, a small skirmish happening in the mid lane as well.
Back and forth coming out from both teams. We're currently seeing a very balanced lineup. Aero 4 currently only having a 1.4k gold lead, 1.5 currently with a 1 kill advantage. Beautiful campion onto Orochimaru. They commit the Lumord ultimate. That is a knocker from the Kitita. The Rough Waves comes in. Hanzo's into the mix. Lumord gets the first kill. They continue the skirmish, and that is Hanzo doing a lot of damage, but Stoner barely escaping with 1 HP. And the Melissa from the backline securing that kill onto Hanzo and falling back. So that's a beautiful 2-for-0 exchange in favor of Aero 404.
Yeah, that's true. But they do have the potential right now to get this mid lane pushed in a little bit. They have lost the team fight, but that doesn't mean you have to lose the objectives. You have the ability to achieve objectives elsewhere. The Litho is back up and running. I think we should see Melissa try and take that down. That's going to be a good Litho to get right now with the Lord spawning up. Having that vision is very, very necessary. Nice scout out from the Melissa. Gets a bit of poke damage into Camilla. Camilla has to retreat a little bit. The team will be, of both sides, will be positioning around this particular objective. It looks like Stoner taking a more aggressive positioning in this part of the game, just to scout out vision.
But you definitely need to watch out for the Hanzo with this aggressive positioning, because you never know when he's going to come in. As I said, that they go onto that Carmilla, beautiful curse blood onto 3, and they go with a full combination. Lumord's into the mix. That's 1 kill, 2 kills. Will they get a triple onto Armor Tank? He runs away to safety. So beautiful counter engagement from Akatsuki, not being able to secure the kills and unfortunately paying the price in that exchange.
Yeah. That is true. It's a lot's going to come down to this XP laner from the side of Akatsuki. We haven't really seen much of him in this part of the game. We are heading towards the late game in the next few seconds, so we should be able to see more of the Terizla in the matchup, because you need somebody to start baiting out that Netherrealm. There's the engagement here, full-on combination. However, without the Netherrealm, it's the ability to sustain through the damage is just not there, as it's a 2-for-1 exchange going in the favor of Akatsuki.
Beautiful. So they almost survived that one. So good engagement there. That's a Rizla. If he can get that penalty zone combination with Carmilla down, that will be a lot of trouble for Aero 404. They definitely need to watch out for the patience to wait for that nether round to be online, so they are able to just survive a little bit more. As you know, if Hanzo gets onto the Melissa and she doesn't have that ultimate of hers to go away, then that is a lot of trouble, because he can just burst a 1, 2, 3 dead.
Exactly. Or even if you get off onto her, the go away is not going to really help anything at all. He's just going to eat through that. So the Lord being allowed to push freely up here on the top lane. As we see the Hanzo, he's going into the back line. He's going to be the one to try to bait out this Pharamis Netherrealm. But so far, the defense pretty solid for the side of Akatsuki. Though they did lose the mid lane turret, which was, I suppose the best situation they could hope for. There's Hanzo into the mix once more. He's trying to target... I'm sure he's trying to target the Pharamis. If I was on the Hanzo, that's what I'd be thinking right now. It's like, if you can get the Netherrealm out of the equation, then we sort of win the team fight. There's the engagement here. Curse Blood does land penalty zone. The Netherrealm comes in. The Rough Waves is there as the follow-up. But it's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange over. Make that 1-for-2 underneath the turret. Akatsuki taking a victory here as Erothel wants to go in on the Melissa. Gets a bit of poke damage, but he's a bit careful to want to engage because that's a sustain coming through. Is a bit crazy. Hanzo trying to get onto anybody. Just not enough of those blood stacks available to actually get a kill out of that.
I mean, his Trinity build is he's already done, so he might be looking to get an anti-lifesteal, but this Loki is fed, Melissa's fed, and the go away was committed just to secure that buff, but overall, if they get this Melissa, then the fight might be over. They need to start positioning correctly to keep this Melissa into the fight. Penalty zone onto Ferrum. They want to get this Nether Realm out of position. The Melissa into the mix. Curse blood onto 2. Loki is in a lot of danger. Big Boy commits that blood. Stacks is on, and that is another kill. But Pain in a lot of danger. Stoner and Mimi is onto him. But Hanzo's not done yet. He's onto Kyrie as well. So this is a lot of back and forth damage from both teams, but only a 1-for-1 exchange.
Yes. And all of this with the Lord being up. But without the Melissa in there, could be difficult. But Hanzo, Hanzo's not the best at taking Lords. I would say this. He's very good at poking, wave clear, and zoning the enemy away from certain objectives. But not the best at starting. If you're playing a Hanzo on your side that has a Hanzo in it, you don't really want to start the Lord Dance. You want to wait for that Lord Dance to be started so he can go in with his ultimate and just wreak absolute havoc.
I mean, if you can get that Lord Dance up and get someone out of position, get that stacks on and kill them down, that might be a good play. As we do see the engagement. Cursed Blood not landing onto Stoner. There's a beautiful engagement, but Hanzo retreats. So currently, I have to say, Akatsuki is in a very good position to take this Lord. Melissa is currently just in the top lane, making the rotation into the pushes, and the penalty zone onto Ferrum. They once again want to bait out that Nether Realm. Nether Realm committed, and he will still get taken down by the Irithyll, and this time's Mimi in a lot of danger. This Irithyll is shredding through all that CC's HP.
Yeah, this is the late game Irithyll. You know what happens when Melissa, she gets the stacks up. Do they have the rough waves? Do they have the damage to take it out? No, they don't. She's sustaining. But somehow they managed to do this. Irithyll still in the mix there. Hanzo, he's got his ultimate. There's the penalty zone. There's the follow-up from Hanzo. Could we see the moment where the game changes? Oh my goodness. They managed to take down yet another. It's quite a few kills going the way of Akatsuki. Terizla escaping with just a sliver of HP. But again, they've got to wait for Error 404 to start this lot.
I mean, especially against a Liu Mord. So Hanzo's not good taking a Lord, and especially Liu Mord will mostly win the retro battle every time. But this Big Boy playing very aggressive with that Hanzo form. I'm loving his play style, trying to get a pick off that if they get that Nether Realm out of Error 404's arsenal, that is a one-team fight in my opinion. They have a lot of capabilities to stack their damage, as was said by the Camilla, and then the penalty zone with the Hanzo and the rough waves. But we do see the Lord being started up. There's going to be a 4v5 fight here into the Lord. Pain in a very good position. Beautiful! Kauri getting that beautiful Lord steal. The fight continues. We do see the Nether Realm being committed. Go away. The fight continues. That's currently a 4-for-1 exchange. That Kadita's in a lot of danger. Mimi and Kauri just trying to chase her down, but she escapes. So what a play, what a steal there from Error 404.
Yeah, that was just a little bit of lack of patience from the side of Akatsuki. As long as they kept on using the strategy that they were using, they could have made sure that they ended the game and took that objective. But right now, it's a 4v1 situation. The base is open. This should be game going the way of Error 404. But it was just that slight little bit of impatience there, saying, okay, let's try and take this Lord. The players were in position, but you just didn't have the heroes available to do the zoning away properly. I mean, if they had that, then they could have taken it. As you can see, in a retry battle, in a battle up against a Leo mod, it's Hanzo is not the best at doing so, not the best at achieving that Lord. But overall, very, very balanced game, very close, could have went either way, but it did go the way of Error 404, so they've drawn first blood, and well, What do you guys think in terms of this overall performance?
Overall, very, very good performance. But I have to say, I agree with that. I mean, against a Lumort, first of all, with a Hanzo, you're never going to win that retro battle. So the lack of patience did cost them that. But I have to say, this was a very, very good team game from both teams, back and forth the whole time. Very good skirmishes, counter engagement. So if this is the first game of the match, they felt each other out, how you play, the playstyle differences. So the second match might just be better than the first one.
Yes. I'm definitely with you. Both teams would have picked up from each other how the playstyle works, who's the aggressor, who rotates fast enough. I mean, the first match always has a little bit of a touchy-feely kind of situation. It's like you'll notice certain strengths and weaknesses in your opponents. Like you'll notice, does the XP laner rotate a lot? Or does the XP laner like to cut wave too much and then hence overextend? Is this a potential weakness in their gameplay? The follow-up combination between mages and roamers, for instance, right? You're always looking at positioning. You can see certain things. I know in the heat of the battle, certain things can get lost, but it's what all this experience of the previous tournaments are all about. A lot of things have to do with experience. So do we have a spectator in the lobby? Do we need to have them removed? Or is it just player swaps?
I think that might be a spectator in the lobby. I don't know. Maybe give them a few seconds. If they don't leave, we can just remove them. Because, okay, they're the first one left, and there's only one left, but I can't see. Okay, they also left. They were kicked. So that solves the problem.
All right.
Okay, but it seems there is being a player swap. So Stoner was swapped out along with Ferrum for Average Joe and Autumn. So the OG team of last night will be showing their faces once again. So this mid-match swap out is very good. It throws your opponent's entire plan out of action.
That is true. It does keep you on your toes a little, but though I wonder what's the rules for substitution on the pro scene.
So for rules of substitution, you can't swap mid-match unless there's a legit emergency that happened. Otherwise, you can only swap past the days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Very, very, very interesting. So, as we get into this next phase, we're just waiting for Chimaru to ready up, and then we will be and obviously get all the spectators out. I think they also have some swaps to do. So look, maybe potentially both teams will be resetting their lineup. Ernesto, yes, I agree with you. Akatsuki was so close; they could have won that one. They had the team fight potential. Yes, and that was exactly what the commentary team said. If they focused on pushing instead of fighting there in the mid, that little bit of discipline could have changed the course of the match, because they had Error 404 on the ropes. I mean, Error 404 started off very, very nicely, very strong early game. As we've seen from them, no matter the lineup they have a very strong early game. That means, that just goes to show the discipline of the players, the understanding of macro plays, which is most prevalent within the first 2 minutes of a match. So they had that early game potential, but then Akatsuki, realizing that the Nether Realm was the problem, started baiting it out with the Hanzo. Once they had that baited out, then it changes the course of the fight, because they had a better draft at that time for team fight potential. I mean, you've got a penalty zone, you've got the cursed blood. Those are the rough waves as well. They not just combine and synergize. They really, really can hurt you.
True.
That is true.
What was your opinion about the match, Lotus?
To be honest, I enjoyed watching the back and forth between the two teams, and like everyone says, Akatsuki was so close. If they just showed a little bit more patience, they could have made the game last a bit longer, could have won even. But there's always now the second match to turn the tide. So let's see what they bring up.
But I mean, as we head into the drafting phase, So once again, Loki having the first ban opportunity for Error 404's lineup. Once again, going for that Uranus. So they definitely did their homework, deciding Uranus is a big problem and rather not taking the risk in that regard. And Big Boy, of course, having the response for Akatsuki.
They might once again be going for that Benedetta ban just to make sure not to allow Air 404 to pick her up. So
Crowned by heaven's man,
goes for the Zetian ban.
shall endure.
So I'm not sure what her ultimate's name is, but as we all know, that CC that's just all over the map does cause quite a bit of problems, especially when you're in a team fight.
Yeah, the ultimate's called Fury of the Phoenix. So it's a beautiful, beautiful ultimate. I mean, the name fits her profile so well, playing with Phoenixes. So overall, very good hero. Very strong in the current stage because they're still learning the counters to Zeti and how to get the passive off, how to play against her. But nonetheless, we do see a lot of the same bans. Akatsuki won against not allowing Mimi to pick up that Benedetta, and Error 404 banning out the Lancelot and now the Hanzo. So that was a very, very good respect ban coming out from Error 404.
However, earlier you mentioned Zetian's counters. The thing is, her passive is so easily broken. All someone has to do is just run into it and then walk out, so you just have to be sustainable. So even a Sun can also greatly counter her. However, Akatsuki bans out the Harris. They know Average Joe is in this composition. They do not want to see that Harris.
Oh, and beautiful. So they left open the Florin, and Aurum picks up the Florin. So, as you know, that was one of the very good picks in the previous lineup when they went for that hit and run playstyle with the Benedetta Lance. So, very good to see once again that Florin into the mix. Kadita doing a lot of damage in the previous game, and they thought if it ain't broken, why fix it? And once again picks up the Kadita.
The Kadita is actually such a good hero, but people don't use her often. I'm a tank, picks up the tank. Franco this time, not the Aerithal. So, Franco is extremely good for buff steals or just annoying the enemy jungler. And you always have to be careful for those hooks.
Yeah, I mean, one good hook with a bloody hunt underneath the turret can swap out any team, can swap around the fight. I mean, as soon as that happens, if the bloody hunt is committed, you see everyone scuttle trying to save the enemy after their own teammate, and then they walk into the enemy's trap, and then that's a lot of times how the teams fall in the team fight. But Kaori once again picking up that Lumor. Average Joe is going to show us the Granger. So it's not the Ixia of the previous match, but rather his Granger, which is also deadly.
True, and then Yon picks up the Melissa. Yon did feature in the previous matches of Akatsuki, and if I remember correctly, he made a lot of good plays.
Got him lined up in my sights.
Yeah, he was in Wednesday's match. He was in game 1. He was in the match. Overall, Melissa not a bad pick against the team, but they have a lot of burst capability, so her positioning definitely needs to be on point. I mean, the Hayabusa being banned out from Error 404, and once again Akatsuki getting out that Kimi, interesting ban. I mean, she's got that recent nerf and only the mid lane open, so I don't know if she's still going to see that massive play she currently does.
True, and Akatsuki also banned out the CC. We all know how lethal a CC is, so it's a good decision to ban her, but I think they could have left the ban for someone better, shall we say, like a Lapu, or just an extremely good fighter. But CC also still works.
This is a good pick overall. I mean, they did ban out the Teresla. That penalty zone was a massive problem. But with the CC ban, this might show us that they will want to go for something like the Khalid. And as I said, the Khalid, it wins up. So against the CC is very good against a tanky XP laner like Khalid, maybe Gato. So they definitely wanted to set up that so they don't get counter draft in that regard.
True, and Loki is flashing that Valentina. But will Valentina be good in this matchup? Because the only one that she really can steal would be the Kadita's Rough Waves. But he picks up the Zushin instead. We all know how difficult it is to deal with the Zushin. Even a Kadita has problems dealing with her. So that could be quite handy for the side of Era 404.
I mean, Zushin is a menace. She's so irritating, but there's not a lot of slow heroes. She can maybe displace the Frank. I mean, the displacement can cancel the Bloody Hunt, so it's a very good pick overall. And Mimi going for that Ruby. So Ruby is currently one of the triple threats, I say, in the XP laner. Yuzong, Lapu, and Ruby is currently your best fighters, in my opinion, in the XP lane. So very good pick overall in that regard.
True. Today when I was actually trying Ruby out for the first time, the amount of sustainability that she has is quite crazy, and never tower dive Ruby. That's something everyone knows.
Yeah, and I mean, if that skills is available, she can combo you into oblivion. And especially with the new buff where base lifesteal was increased massively, if there's creeps around, Ruby won't ever die. But Big Boy picking up that Roger. But the question now is, Pain has Execute. Does he know he has Execute? Because it's been a while since we saw Execute in a 5-man scene.
Well, there's always a method to someone's madness, shall we say.
Yeah, but I mean, for the Khalid, you can use Revitalize, you can use Flicker, you can use even Petrify. No, Petrify is bad. Vengeance is not bad on Khalid. So, yeah, it's interesting to see how that Execute is going to work out. But nonetheless, I have to say, overall good drafts. But I would say I would definitely favor Era 4-4's draft over Akatsuki this time. I don't know, Lotus, what's your opinion regarding that?
Agree with you, because to be honest, I feel that Akatsuki's composition is a bit strange, because you have damage, you have mobility, but it doesn't seem that you're going for anything specific.
Very true. But now the question is, the man himself, Mr. Waylander, the king of analytics, what do you think of the drafts tonight?
Actually, I tend to agree with you. I would favor the Era 404 draft over the Akatsuki, but once more, as we know, it all comes down to how are you going to play the game? How are you going to execute this potential draft? Can you get, I mean, because we do have a Raja on the side of Akatsuki. Raja, as we know, once he gets fed, is extremely dangerous. You've got a high early game potential here from the side of that Khalid, making a whole lot of rotations, going into the jungle. Oh, look at that damage out there, the output up against the Ruby. Ruby managing to sustain through this, has that level advantage, but gonna be a tough one, I would say. So, well, anyway, into the match we go. Oh, Franco with the hook manages to pull the Leomord. They do get a bit of damage and knock up onto him. So, delaying his farm, allowing that Roger to just like slightly, I would say, outfarm the Leomord just slightly. Has a very slight difference in level advantage here, though I would expect them to hit level 4 pretty much just one after the other. Akatsuki already in position here for a gold lane gank. But average Joe, as we know, he's fully aware of what's going to happen.
But right now, setting up a gank while Turtle is only 10 seconds away is not always the best idea, in my opinion.
Yes, but Leomord goes in aggressively, gets punished. The knock-up coming in from the Kadita there. Absolutely clutch timing. As the river speed is being used by Big Boy. He gets across. He wants to start this up before the Leomord is back, but Leomord is up and running. Big Boy is going to have to be a bit careful because he doesn't want to be taken down. Leomord has that extreme burst potential. Franco trying to frontline. Who's going to land this retribution? It's Coyote comes in beautifully there. Crimson Lantern comes out from the Zushin as the Rough Waves is committed by Kadita. And so the turtle did go the way of Era 404.
True, but look at Loki. He's just walking around with such low health. as if nothing in the world is wrong. However, we do see that Akatsuki is already rotating to the gold lane, wanting to catch Average Joe.
Yeah, he does have the mobility, he still has the flicker up and running. Franco trying to land that hook just slightly off the mark. Doesn't have the Bloody Hunt available yet. Though Floren's already got that floral bloom on her side. That's a big changer in any team fight.
That is true, and right now we're already at past the 3-minute mark, and Air 404 just has a 200 gold lead on Akatsuki, so both teams are making sure to keep that gold gap narrow.
That's true. So it's a very patient start from both sides here. They're not forcing any plays. We're watching Aero 404 make this XP lane rotation. With the Leomod splitting up towards the top just to protect Average Joe. Kadita seizing the opportunity to get this mid lane pushed in here. Oh, the flicker hook comes out from Armor Tank just slightly off the mark. As Leomod gets that ultimate off, it's going to be the go away from it. Oh, there's the Bloody Hunt onto Carry, but the floral bloom is just perfectly timed. They take down Big Boy on the Roger. Melissa trying to dish out the damage, but there's the engagement. It's going to be the Crimson Lantern underneath the turret dives. They're beautiful play coming out from Aero 404 as they picked up 2 kills in a quick succession. Average Joe, he wants to put as much pressure as he can onto this gold lane, get as much gold as possible, as Franco is trying to ensure that that does not happen, clearing out the waves there.
That was a beautiful play from the side of Air 404, and Leomod is just a bit away from the turtle, but his team is making sure to zone the enemy away from him in time, just to be able to make sure to secure this objective, but they will have to play smartly because Akatsuki is looking out for the opportunities.
Yes. If they can get their timing done right, they need those anti-heals to come up. As Granger, will he be scouted up? There's the knock-up. Oh, Kadita just taking a sidestep away. I thought she was going to fully commit. She does have the Petrify and the Rough Waves. I really thought she was going to go all in.
She did know that she has to save it up because there was no one to follow up if she did go in with the ult.
Yeah, but Kadita should have the damage to take down a Granger. And Melissa was relatively close by, so maybe a little bit of a lack of communication between the two players. There's the hook. There's the Bloody Hunt. This should be it for Granger. Granger being taken down. Lovely hook coming through there from Franco.
That sounded so final. The end for Granger. However, we do see Roger pushing onto and putting pressure on this mid lane. Right now, they just want to poke the Air 404 and annoy them. Make sure to have them split up.
Yeah, Khalid underneath the tower. There's the knock-up. Oh, the Rough Waves comes out from the Kadita with the Crimson Lantern. Nice fast fingers there from Loki. The follow-up engage. Ruby throws that armor fender, drags back the Kadita. Make sure they get the kill. Pain on that Khalid, trying to heal up. Franco is into the mix. Roger and Co are trying to get this defended, but the wave is being pushed in here. Granger and focusing on this. That's mid lane down. This is the power of a Florin coming into play when everybody is close. When we hit this mid-game spike, she comes to life. She's gonna get your team to sustain through everything.
Right now, Air 404 is showing Akatsuki how to play those supports and to make sure to save your team on time. But with that mid lane tower being taken down, it almost gave them a 3,000 gold lead.
Yeah. There's the Sandstorm coming in from the Khalid. He's trying to escape here. He again is going to get pulled back, taken down by the Zushin. Oh, the Bloody Hunt comes through, but there's no real follow-up. The Rough Waves is in there, but it's being used more defensively than anything. They're chasing down the Franco, and so that's a 3-for-0 exchange as Roger was taken down on the top lane in a 1v1 battle up against the Granger. Average Joe, showing why he's so deadly on the Granger, just walking through in between the turrets and taking down Melissa.
That was a beautiful kill from his side, and right now, Air 404 is already on this turtle, about to take it down, and Roger doesn't really have a chance to even try to contest. They have the map control, the gold lead, and the kill advantage. This puts Akatsuki in a really difficult position right now.
That is very, very, very true. Very difficult position indeed. They're gonna have to try and regroup, reposition, and get themselves up and running for that the late game, which will be coming up in about 2.5 minutes. As long as they can hold the towers that they have right now, they're going to give themselves the space they need to get that Melissa online, to get the Roger online, and then the damage really comes through.
That is true. Sometimes you just have to stall. Oh, that solo kill. Well, not necessarily solo kill. Zushin taking down the Khalid. Zushin is relatively extremely strong from early to mid and also to late, so it's really difficult to deal with her even as a Khalid.
That is true. That is very, very, very true. Zushin, though she doesn't really counter the Franco though. So when the Zushin was picked up, I was like, interesting. Though having the Florin close by does give her the sustainable she needs. Oh, there's the bloody hunt coming through here. The hook as well as they take down the Ruby. Not often you get to see that. Oh, the rough waves comes out from the Kadita. Big boy, he's trying to keep his buff, but he's going to get engaged on. He's taken down their killing spree for Average Joe. Coyote trying to find the angle to the backline. He's on that horse. He's got the damage, but Kali frontlining here as best he can. The knockup comes through from the Kadita, saving him just in time. And it's Loki that's taken down on that Zushin.
Beautiful play from Akatsuki. They're trying to stall time, make sure that to get everyone fed, and also put up a good defense, because if they can stall for time, they can get all the ones that they need fed to get fed.
That is true. That is very, very, very true. We're heading in towards this first Lord of the game. Leomord already starting it up there. We've got the Florin close by. Granger zoning away. Oh, the hook! What a hook! What an absolute beauty of a hook! They managed to take down Aurum there, but the follow-up is in from the team. There's the rough wave, dishing out so much damage. Melissa as well, but she's going to have to reposition. Roger not in there. I mean, imagine if Roger was around. He went for a bit of a split push. I want to try to get a turret onto the field, but one Lycan pounce there could have been the end of Era 404.
That is true. He could have just immediately killed everyone off and get the Lord freely without an issue. But you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. So this Lord really low. They're trying to stall. They're trying to deal with this here. Oh, it's going to be a nice retry coming through from Curry as he takes down the Melissa as well. So again, I would say something with the way of communication. They needed the Roger to be close enough in order to deal with potential retry steal, but he did go for that split push potential or option rather, shall I say, or maybe working slightly against Akatsuki in this particular scenario.
However, Leomord and two others are already pushing and pressing onto this bottom lane where Lord is already coming into. This puts a lot of pressure on Akatsuki, and then Air 4 would probably rotate to the other lanes and also put pressure there just to divide Akatsuki and make them not know where to go in time.
Nice first kill coming out from Average Joe, taking the big boy on that Roger down to half health. The hook coming through from Franco. There's the engagement here by Leomord, forcing the flicker out from the Franco. Crimson Lantern as well, as we see Arrow 404 seizing the advantage that they have right now to get some turrets being pushed down. There's a big old battle here against the Khalid. He's in a lot of danger. He's going to try to heal up underneath the turret. Zushin is in the mix there. He's going to try to airlift him. Uses the Sandstorm defensively. Oh, but the mid lane tier 3 turret has fallen. We might see one on the bot lane. The waves pressuring into the base here. Arrow 404 seizing this opportunity. They want to go for the end. They want to go for the throat. They've got the pressure. They want to make sure that they can actually seize the day, seize the opportunity to end this off. But so far, oh, there's the bloody hunt onto the Leomord. Do we have the follow-up? The Floral Bloom to save everybody. Granger dishing out the damage. Will this be a team wipe? Yes, it is. Savage for the Granger. Average Joe with the recall spam. Take a ball as it's game, set, match, going the way of Era 404.
Savage so early in this evening. That was beautiful from Era 404. There was a bit of back and forth, but Era 404 just said, nah, I don't want that again. Let's just dominate and kill and get this game to be ours.
Yeah, that is true. The stacks on the Sky Pierce are coming in extremely handy there for the side of Era 404's Average Joe, as he took down the entire side of Akatsuki in just one massive team fight. But oh my goodness, this was a excellent game. What do you think about this, Lotus and Shroomsy?
Wow.
Overall, what a game. I have to say, there's a reason why Average Joe is one of the top marksmen in our server, and he just showed it. I mean, the first Savage of the MSA Cup already in Group A. What a play. I mean, this might be the play that gives Average Joe the MVP of the week. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah. So just to play off Shroomsy's MVP of the week statement. So right here on Waylander Gaming, we are going to be running an MVP of the week poll that will be coming up on Sunday, so get your votes in. Make sure you stay tuned to all the matches so you can accurately say who was the best performing player for this week. That particular player will get their own special sticker that we'll be releasing on the Waylander Gaming WhatsApp group chat. With maybe a little bit of a catchphrase, and that sticker will feature their name and the hero that they performed the best in. So right now, it is Average Joe in the front line with that Savage on the Granger. So will he be the MVP of the week? Well, stay tuned for the rest of the matches, and we'll get to find out shortly. But Lotus, any final words before we go to the pause screen? When I say final words, I don't mean for you viewers at home that it's all over for tonight. We're just going to get the next lobby set up for the next game that will be coming through. Lotus, you can announce that while you give your thoughts on the match.
Well, I was thinking that the runner-up for MVP would rather be Oram with her Florin. The amount of healing that she did, and how she saved her team on time, was to me the best part about the entire match, because the communication and teamfight participation coming in from Era 404 is really what won them the match.
Very true. Very true. But once again, we're gonna have and I would say unfortunate break. We do need a little bit of time to get everything ready for you to enjoy. But the next match coming up in just a few minutes will be Pandora's Code Red up against Akatsuki. So Akatsuki, they're down but not out. They still have another game to go. So that's the next matchup, the next best of 3 that will be taking place in just a few minutes. So don't go anywhere. We will be back with you all shortly.
retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil your luck with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we want retribution. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil your luck with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we want retribution. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil your luck with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we want retribution. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil your luck with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we want retribution. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we want retribution. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. 'Cause we want retribution. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. This is Waylander here, joined by Lotus and Shroomsy as we get into the second game of day 2 of the MSA Cup Group A. So this is just your group stages. We're just dealing with Group A to start off. It's going to be Pandora's Code Red in the blue up against Akatsuki in the red. Akatsuki just playing a bit of a nail biter of a series up against Aero 404. Although the score suggests a clean sweep, it went to Aero 404. That result not indicating the performance that was shown by Akatsuki.
Definitely. I mean, they had a very, very good game one, back and forth. One mistake that was made on that Lord cost him the game. The second game was still a very, very good game, but the early game dominance in Aero 404's draft just outplayed them. But overall, Akatsuki, something to watch out for. I mean, this is nothing from what we used to see from NWO. They did a name swap and they definitely bumped up the game with this new squad.
Yeah, agreed. So we've got the players ready. We can just let the match referee know that we're good to go. And we can head off into the drafting phase. As we all can see, it's the tournament lobby. So, no lobby bans as per usual. If you're wondering what happened to it, we don't have to do it. So we're going to get into the traditional bans with all the skins available. I hope you've pressed that like, share, and subscribe button. I hope you have voted in the poll as to who you think is going to be taking this matchup. A PCR up against Akatsuki as we head into the drafting phase.
So first we have... Yes?
What do you think about this matchup, Lotus?
PCR versus Akatsuki. I think these teams could also be considered evenly matched. But PCR, as we saw in their match Wednesday versus Renegades, where they did a total lane swap between Mage and Gold Lane and XP Lane, and it threw the entire enemy team off balance. So if they have other wildcards like that, I'm actually interested to see what they will be doing. Kufra banned out from Grip Reaper.
Kufra overall is a menace in this current patch. I mean, he does counter all the dashy heroes, the sneaky 1-2 combo with the Tyrant's Wrath. With one follow-up hero, he's a menace to have. So I will support the Kufra ban 100%.
That is true. However, Pain bans the Guinevere. Team Merlin's Guinevere, as we saw in the matches versus the Renegades, is actually quite devastating.
Yeah, I mean, if you did your homework, his Guinevere is one of his most played heroes, along with his X-Borg. So those are two definitely menacing heroes in Team Merlin's hands. So if you can get with the junglers comfort picks offline, that's already a major gap you have in the drafting capabilities. I mean, if there's someone in your team that has a small hero pool, 3-4 comfort heroes, the rest they play okay, usually your team builds the whole draft around that. So if you get that comfort picks out of the way, that's one thing less to worry about, and it also throws out the enemy's complete draft.
That is true. That's why it's so important for teams to make sure to have more than one draft, and you have to make sure to have a wide hero pool, and to make sure you're comfortable with as many heroes as possible.
Definitely. But I mean, the bans all speak what we are saying. I mean, we see the Florin ban once again. Every time Florin's been picked up, that Aurum had a devastating performance. Florin currently having a 100% win rate. Hayabusa also being banned out from Akatsuki. So Akatsuki definitely focusing on that 1v1 jungler. So I mean, both Guinevere and Hayabusa can bully any marksman or squishy. So that's something definitely you need to watch out for.
That is true. And the thing with both of them is you can't really cancel their odds or even escape from it.
Once you're caught, it's all game over. And PCR banning out that Hanzo, so both the ninjas are out of the way. Akatsuki not waiting, taking out the glue from the hands of PCR. So, as you know, PCR has that combination they always love running, the Carmilla Sicilian. So, my question is, will we once again see them pick up the 1-2 combination of the Moonlight Waltz?
Seeing that is a favorite pick for them, the thing is, it's so easy to counter at times, especially if your enemy knows you're going to pick that. So you have to be extremely versatile. Speaking of versatility, Kuro picks up the Farsa. So a lot of mobility coming from the mage. However, Lunox with that light and chaos, that would be interesting to see. We don't get to see her often in the 5-man team.
I mean, Lunox is one of those heroes that's a high skill ceiling. So, I mean, there's not a lot of players that is able to play the Lunox. I mean, mid-range Lunox is not something to fret about, but if you have a high-skilled Lunox, she can literally 1v3, kill 2 of the members, and survive the onslaught with that light ultimate of hers. So definitely a force to reckon with. You're also having the next pick. Will he swap out, or will he play once again maybe the Melissa? I don't know what they go, but they go for the Granger in the hands of Leland VZ.
So they saw from the last matches versus Air 4-4, Granger is still a force to be reckoned with. So why not take him? Why not use him? And
No, definitely.
Team Running gets the next pick, but swaps out with Grip Reaper's Hanabi.
This is quite interesting. And also Blitz once again picking up that Benedetta you also showed us in the previous match. So this is interesting. So 2 things I have to mention. Firstly, Hanabi is not a favorite pick among the 5-man scene. She's seen as one of the 2 Dark System marksmen, but as you know, in the correct hands, Hanabi can be dangerous if the enemy team doesn't respect that. But secondly, also to mention, Grip Reaper is usually either XP lane or roamer for the side of PCR. So I'm wanting to see how he does fare in the gold lane, especially up against the Granger, which is currently one of the meta picks.
True, but if Hanabi is played correctly and with skill, she can take down a lot of marksmen. The thing is, she's just too easy to counter at times, but Luke is getting banned out. Right now, Akatsuki is making sure to take out a lot of the damaged fighters and tanks, just to be able to not give PCR that bit of space to go with what they know and what they're good at with.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, with that Gatu pick as well, so I don't know if that's Gatu Roam, Gatu XP lane. That's why we love Gatu. It's a very versatile pick, being able to flex into multiple roles as well. Sinister with the next ban. So, of course, we do know Merlin's dominating X-Borg is still in their hands, in their arsenal. So I'm wanting to see if Akatsuki's final ban might be the X-Borg, and PCR even might be looking at another XP lane. Okay, so they're deciding Gatu's in the roam, rather ban out the Trinity, the trio of death in the XP laners.
Usual has been extremely strong, and as you said, he's one of the trio of death. And he has sustainability, he has damage, and his passive just can kill you silently.
And I mean, if you ever use Zong on the enemy team, you definitely... the one thing that a lot of players mistakes make is if you ever use Zong on the enemy team, you don't ever start the turtle. I mean, if you commit to the turtle, you just Black Dragon forms, fly in from behind, petrify, stuns enemy jungler dead.
I literally invented one.
That is true. However, Akatsuki makes sure to ban out the chip. Chip isn't something we see from PCR, but Akatsuki seems to know something that we do not.
And I mean, even Chip got a massive nerf on that teleport of his. So you can see now when and to where Chip teleports. So there's no more surprise element in Chip's ultimate. So that is, of course, a major game changer. We're still finding out if it's meta or not. That's still something we're still figuring out the current meta in this stage. But Team Merlin with the final ban for the game 1 of PCR versus Akatsuki.
He might be going for a jungle ban or even
Call
miss.
me a hero.
There it
because
is,
I
the
saved
jungle
my
ban.
nation from falling apart.
YSS is a dominating hero. I mean, he's not often picked because he has a slow early game, but as soon as YSS is fed, there's danger in your horizon.
That is true, and even recently I've been seeing him more and more in the gold lane. And if he's in the gold lane, I would rather just walk to the XP lane. So
I mean, YSS is overall very irritating, but interesting here, the Scalia pick coming out from the side of Akatsuki. Kalia had a massive nerf, but even with that, with her healing capabilities, she's still maybe A tier at best. So that is something she can combo very well with the Lunox Dark Ultimate as well to dish out a lot of damage onto the damage dealers coming out from PCR. But Merlin going for the Baxia, sinister with that Tigreal. So that implosion into the Eclipto Blades, into Feathered Airstrike, that is a deadly wombo combo in PCR's arsenal.
that is true, and if you also pair it up, even with the Hanabi's ult, people really underestimate that ult. But if you time it extremely well, you can catch the majority of the enemy team as long as they are near each other. As Sasuke picks up the Suyu, someone we don't get to see so often these days after all the nerfs and buffs.
And I mean, Sasuke into a Baxia is very interesting. He will definitely win the Red 3 battle, so that's something that PCR definitely needs to watch out for. But it is more assassin based versus tank jungler, so this is going to be an interesting matchup. But what I'm liking seeing is Sasuke picking up the Sasuke skin. So as you know, Akatsuki having most of them having the names from Naruto. So I'm loving to see 2 Naruto skins in their arsenal as well.
True, but what do you think about the draft so far?
So looking draft alone, I would definitely have to say I would favor the side of Akatsuki to take the draft. It all depends on how Author plays that Benedetta. Benedetta is the wild card here. She can either make or break PCR's draft.
True, to be honest, I'm rooting more for the PTR's draft because they have the CP, they have the range, and they have the sustainability.
5 seconds till the enemy.
Definitely, but now the drafting is 1 for 1. 1 votes for PCR, 1 vote for Akatsuki. The deciding factor is Mr. Waylander himself. What's your opinion?
Well, right now it's this Lunox pick for me. I just put the Lunox on the screen for you. Lunox counters a lot of the tanks that they have on the side of PCR, so that was a very, very good pick. Even though it was the first one, makes the drafting a little bit more challenging for the side of PCR. So I was a big fan of this Lunox pick. Very high skill mage. Oh, there's an engagement here onto the Kalia, but Kalia, she's got that mobility. Huge battle in the mid lane. Oh my goodness, look at the amount of aggression going on here. Kalia has to get out of dodge. The rotations coming across from the XP lane is just like a full brawl scene here. Full 8 men in the mid lane.
I mean, at the first minute of the game, already a massive brawl going out. But I'm liking to see this pain on the Gatu doing that mirror rotation onto the Benedetta, so there's no surprises coming out from the side of PCR. Lunox also making the rotation onto Benedetta. She's in a lot of danger. But Lunox couldn't commit a Dark Order. The flicker comes out, but Benedetta survives. That mobility just saved her. But once again, and I'll be in a lot of danger with Sasuke doing that counter rotation into the enemy's jungle.
Yeah. That is true. Kalia just sticking close by. So nice rotations coming through from the side of Akatsuki in this early game. Sending the mage up on top, allowing the Gato to ensure that not just he's going to get that level 4 first, but at the same time he's going to have a bit of a gold lead. So he's going to have that extra bit of sustainability because the team fights up until Lunox gets a few items and hits that level 4 power spike will be kind of your sustain team fights.
But interesting here, instead for Merlin clearing his own jungle to get level 4, he rather takes his mage's farm away, clearing that mid lane, and that's uncontested turtle going. Benedetta trying to give that, using the Eclipto blades to get that turtle, but not securing that fight. Kalia just poking around, trying to get that Tsunami Slam up, but does not yet commit because Lunox is out of mana, so they definitely need to watch out for that.
Yes. Gato went again with the wave cut here. Is going to use the Avatar of Guardian, try to land onto the Gato just slightly off target. There's the engagement. There's the Tsunami Slam. Blade slashing coming out here. Well, but Tiger, he doesn't have the implosion just yet. However, it is a 1-for-1. Now he's got the implosion. Catches onto the Gato. There's the follow-up here. Will they be able to take Gato down? Pain, he's taking a lot of pain. Trying to escape. Oh, the Flicker Blaze come through as they manage to take him down. 2-1 kills going in the favor of PCR.
Beautiful plays coming out from PCR, showing the patience to get that engagement, get that kill secure. But the thing I love seeing the most is people underestimate Tigreal's early game damage with that 1-2 combination of his. He already has both of the kills in PCR on his own scorecard. So very well played from the Roma Sinister himself.
Yeah, there's the engagement. Oh, nice. But the follow-up is in there. Tsunami Slam underneath the turret. Oh, Flicker's coming out left, right, and center. Lunox managed to disengage. Just so much of chaos here in the mid lane.
I mean, the battle of the mid laners is something you don't see in the SA server that often. You usually see it more in the pro scenes. Our people love playing in the gold lane. So I'm loving to see the switch up, not focusing on the gold lane gangs, rather trying to get the mid laners caught out. As you know, mid laners often overstep the boundaries, but beautiful light ult being committed from that Lunox just to get herself to safety. GG's to Akatsuki in that play.
Yes, that's true. But as you're saying, that battle of the mid lane, that is the most important battle there is. But a poke damage here coming out from Tiger. He's trying to get into position to get that implosion play. Sasuke, oh, there's the pickup. There's the Avatar of Guardian. Manages to catch onto 2. Will we see the follow? Lunox got the Dark Ultimate out. Are they going to go in? There's the implosion into the Klecto Blades, into the Feathered Airstrike. It's 3-0. However, it's going to be the... Oh, look at the cap coming through. What a beautiful cap. Make that 4-0 as Suyu trying to chase down that Tigreal gets taken down by the far side instead.
Oh, what a play. I mean, beautiful patience there coming out from Faza. Sasuke very greedy, trying to get a kill onto Tigreal, but pays the price. As you know, that Faza stun on her passive. That was beautifully played by Kuro, and oh, what a play. That's a 4-0 exchange with the turtle going in favor.
That's true. As we see Mr. Anti-Heal himself, Baxia into the mix. Eclecto Blades does come up, but the Tsunami Slam underneath the turret with the follow-up there. Oh, but the second skill from the Bernadetta, and once more the positioning from Kuro on that Fasa. Absolutely on point as they blow up the Killia underneath the turret.
Definitely. I mean, the Bucks are just being a menace, zoning out the entire enemy team, already being forcing out that light ultimate from Therio. Pain in a lot of trouble. There's a 3v4 situation. A flicker implosion onto 2, and that's a double kill in favor of PCR as well.
Yeah, they're turning up the heat here, using their combination plays really nicely, as they are 9-1 to the good with well, what is that? 1.5k gold lead.
I mean, a 1.5k gold lead at the 6-minute mark is already massive. The next turtle of the match will be spawning up in the next 10 seconds. But the question is, I see Baxia already camping in the gold lane once again. Will they leave the turtle uncontested once again? Tsunami Slam underneath the turtle onto Benedetta. The combos is there. Benedetta's in a lot of trouble. A Klepto Blades defensively. Avatar got it, trying to catch it out. But Benedetta just dashes away. So that's 2 ultimates committed in the arsenal of Akatsuki.
Oh, nice cancel off the conceal play coming in from the Tiger. He still has that implosion. Still has that ability to stop them from getting close in. As the zoning away is done, Baxia takes that Lord, or that Turtle rather. He wants to engage onto somebody. They're trying to engage onto the Mage here. She does have the light ultimate, does commit it. There's the follow-up, but once more the Feathered Airstrike into the mix. However, they get it cancelled off this time, but it's a killing spree for the Bernadetta as Lunox, she's trying to dish out the damage onto Tycho. There's the Eclecto Blades. The damage is in there. Will we see the follow-up Tsunami Slam onto the turret? What a beautiful play from Yan as he managed to get that Buckshell finally out of the equation. Beautiful Tsunami Slam. Oh, and the follow-up once more. Shut down. Kalia on fire.
Oh, this Kalia's plays are crazy. Stopping the plays from the Tiger Girl, defending the team, getting that Tsunami Slime underneath the turret, and even using that second skill knockup to cancel Benedetta's dashes away. So overall, this is a very good game, but I have to say, I'm impressed by Kiro, just escaping everything. I mean, he's been caught out a lot of times, but he just survives everything.
Here, there's the engagement. Feathered airstrike. The follow-up is in from the team. The concealed player as well. Granger trying to reposition. Oh, but they're caught. It's a double flicker implosion. However, Granger manages to disengage. Kaleo and the Tsunami's actually trying to stay alive in this 2v1 situation. Or at least a 2v5 situation. They're going to try to stay out. The Klectoblades underneath the turret as they do manage to take down the Granger. However, with those kills going in favor, Gatto sees the opportunity to put even more pressure here on the top lane.
So I have to say, kills currently loose hands, 10 kill advantage in favor of PCR, but that is only a 600 gold lead with 13 kills, and the map advantage firmly in the hands of Akatsuki. So that's a question why fights doesn't win the game. Objectives does.
Yeah. It's an anything that can happen right now. They've got the control of the mid lane. Benedetta trying to get that mid lane, the top lane pushed in. A bit of poke damage coming through. They're just waiting for Kalia. I think Granger wants to use that sort of a bait play here. He wants to bait out anybody to hopefully be able to get the setup with that Tsunami Slam. He's kind of frontlining a little bit, the Granger.
And I mean, Boxer is already into the mix, but does not come here. We do see concealed play here from the Tiger, cancelled by the beautiful Kalia. Once again, the light ultimate just to get Lunox back to safety. So that's a failed engagement coming out from PCR, and Akatsuki is turning up the heat. They want to chase to get the skill, get that advantage for the Lord fight. Avatar of God and landing onto Hanabi, but she has the crowd control immunity. Hanabi in a lot of danger. 1v1 Gatu beats the Hanabi. Merlin also in a lot of danger. That's a 2-kill advantage. Beautiful flicker coming out from Kira just to keep her safe.
Yeah, so the engagement, are they going to go for the Lord? Are they going to be waiting for... They are trying to scout out to see where this Bernadetta is. Oh, there's Bernadetta being scouted out. Fast Eyes in the mix. There's the Tsunami Slam. This time they get the Bernadetta down. The damage coming in from the Granger. He had a very nice time in the gold lane. Nobody interfering with him in that 1v1 situation up against the Hanabi. So he's kind of fed right now. Maybe that's why he's trying to frontline. He saw the Savage in the previous game. Plus he's 7.5k gold. He's like, yeah, I can get a Savage too.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Sky PS already on 20 stacks, so this might be another Savage play. I mean, they are currently putting up the heat onto PCR. PCR having the early game kills advantage, but that's already turned around. The 2k gold lead in favor of Akatsuki at this moment, and the Lord is battling down the mid lane.
Yeah. So, the towers are definitely on their side. The Kalia plays, I must say, I am very, very impressed with. The Kalia's timing of what she needs to do, very much on point, setting up quite a few things for the team. Right now, they've got this wraparound play going in here. They want to try and bait out some skills. There's the Avatar of Guardian, and used as the initiation. Will we see the follow-up? There's the collective braids coming out. Gatto is in the mix as they're zoning. Oh my goodness, look at the amount of damage. There's the Tsunami Slam. It's a 2-for-nothing exchange as a tier 2 turret is being taken down.
Beautiful. But I have to say, GG's to that Gatto. He kept that second skill of his, the taunt, just after Benedetta used the Eclectic Blades. He went for that taunt, and that's what got her deleted. So overall, I'm loving the plays from Akatsuki. They did definitely struggle, but they're putting on the heap. The teamwork is back in action, and this might be able to secure them the victory, but it ain't over until the cookie crumbles.
yeah, that is true. So right now, things have swung in the favor of Akatsuki. It was in the hands of PCR with that very, very early game advantage. how the thing's gonna turn out right now. It just takes one big team fight, and in terms of when it comes to spells for big team fights, Tigreal and that implosion, game changer of an ability.
Definitely. Interesting to see Baxia going for a Sky Piercer on a tank jungle. That's very interesting. The engagement here from the Baxia. Lunox commits the light ultimate just to stay safe with the Yun in a lot of danger. But that's a flick implosion onto Lunox. Is the follow-up there? Avatar of Garden just to save the teammates. That is a reverse engagement from Akatsuki. They get one kill. Benedetta with Ecliptic Blades onto everyone. But gets taken down as well. What an engagement.
Yeah. Looks like this Farsa is AFK. As you can see, she's just stuck here in the corner. We're just gonna have to let the referee do the referee's job until we find out what exactly is happening. As I just get us back up on screen for a few seconds, and then we will be able to inform the viewers at home what's gonna go on. We do have a standard 3-minute pause, but we'll wait for the as I said, the referee to get us going. So, a little bit of a mid-game break, shall we say?
But I mean, definitely needed. It's a very intense back and forth match thus far. Both teams showing their own performances thus far, early versus mid to late game. And I have to say, I'm very impressed. I don't know, Lotus, what's your opinion about the match thus far?
Well, PCI had that early game, but they just kept losing because they didn't have the map control. And if you don't have map control, you can't really expect to win the game.
Yeah. It's there are different play styles. Depending on the composition that you have, you can go for that pick-off compositions, a team fight compositions, just split push potential. Which matchup works when depends on quite a lot of factors. It's one of the things we do, all of us I suppose, love about Mobile Legends is these, especially once you get into the whole 5-man scene, the intricate complexities of the game. Because drafting is not a simple thing as just, oh, I like this hero, I'm going to pick it. You know, you gotta be checking a whole lot of things. Though one of the things I am waiting to see come into action here on, in the Mobile Legends scene here in the Southern African region is the use of emblems in terms of counters. Like, for instance, right, when you're up against a high mobility comp, picking up as a Roma, Wilderness Blessing, and Agility would be something that you'd need to do. It's not often something that we see happening here. It's like everyone kind of has a set emblem, a set build. But when it comes to that, especially the emblems, they can be used to change the course of how you play a game and how you can actually counter who you're up against.
I mean, especially if you're playing in a marksman role, there's something to use, but tank emblems on a marksman is something you can use. I mean, you have vitality to give you the extra bit of health, but I don't remember the name of the emblem, the second emblem that gives you the extra defense if you're low HP.
Vitality?
No, that gives the HP.
I'm also trying to black.
but that's the one.
But anyway.
And back into the match we go.
Yeah. So Farsa is back in the equation, and our timely pause managed to save her.
I mean, that beautiful use of that Very to just escape out of the mat, out of sight, out of mind, and got her back to safety. So overall, the next Lord of the match will be spawning in the next 2 seconds, and I have to say, this is Akatsuki's way to take this uncontested. There's no way that PCR will be able to contest this one.
Yeah. The map control is very much on the side of Akatsuki at this moment in time. But the danger for Akatsuki lies when you're pushing in with this Lord, because you've got the combination of Feathered Airstrike into Implosion into Eclecto Blades. That is a deadly combo with the frontline capability from your Baxia and the damage that can come out, which is basically AoE damage if you think about it, from the Hanabi.
I mean, it all depends on the positioning coming out from PCR. They definitely need to stay safe. I would like to see this Tiger or even the Benedetta not being in the picture, just standing in some random bush and try to get them from behind. I mean, that offside positioning is something that a lot of times helps very well in this Lord marches.
Yeah. As we see Bucks here just trying to poke out some skills. The Lord is into the base. A lot of damage is being dealt to the turret, but they somehow managed to keep it protected. So they do have the tier 3 turrets going. Akatsuki being very, very careful of that team fight potential from the side of PCR. We finally see a tier 3 turret being taken down. Could we see one on the top lane as well? So it's just the mid lane tier 3 turret. Everyone's setting up. Will they go in for anything? I don't think so. I think we will see a bit of patience being shown here by Akatsuki. They want to go for a battle of attrition. They don't want to, roll the dice and go all for nothing. All or nothing, shall I say.
Yeah, I mean, there's overall a very good performance from both teams as far. But if I look at the builds alone, the builds are very, very interesting. Akatsuki going for 2 Sky Pierces. There is the 2 Sky Pierces on PCR's side as well. And Hanabi going for half a Trinity build. So there's the Corrosion Scythe and the Demon Hunter, but no Golden Staff. So interesting builds seeing here from both teams.
Yeah, that is very true. The builds, as you can see, are very damage orientated at this moment in time. So pressure being kept here as the Dark Ultimate has been committed by Lunox, pokes down the Bucks here down to half health. They're sort of forcing PCR into the base. The Conceal play does come out. They're trying to get the pick up. There's engagement onto Killia. Tigreal Flicker Implosion onto 2. There's the follow-up combination we were talking about. The burst damage coming through, but there's Granger. He wants to turn on and dish out the damage. Does he? He's got such a beautiful angle here, does this Granger. He's really starting to hurt. This is a 2 for 2, 2 for 3 exchange. Granger, he's not. Oh my goodness. He was going for it, but he gets shut down by the Farsa. Here's a 3 for 3 exchange. That was a bloody battle.
Oh, but they have to watch out for this Benedetta. She's currently they are very low and she has the ability to burst them down. But, I mean, bloody battle, 3 for 3 exchange. But the advantage, I would say, in this team fight, definitely going to this Benedetta. She's in the team fight, 2v1, but no! The two tanks takes it down. What a play!
The way they layered that the taunt into the knockups is what got her killed. It was so beautifully done by the two of them. They are a bit low. I wonder if they're going to recall before they start this next Lord of the game, Akatsuki. But no, they are healing up from the minions.
Yeah, Killia has a lot of healing capabilities onto the minions. They're not waiting, going for this turtle Lord, and it will be definitely an uncontested Lord once again. One thing I would like to see from PCR's side is Author Blitz on the Benedetta picking up at least one defensive item. I mean, you can get the anti-Kiraj for the Suyuk Ranger, you can get even Athena's for the Lunox Gatu, but just some defensive items to give her a bit more sustainability.
Yeah. Because she's got the burst damage already. It's just a little bit more sustained, could change the course of the fight. But as the Lord makes its way up the top lane, could this be the end? Do you think PCR will be able to mount the defense, or will Akatsuki be able to close this out?
So PCR definitely has the ability to mount the defense. The lane are currently a bit unsynced, but the two side lanes will be crashing at the same time. Mid lane is successfully defended, so it all comes down to positioning. If they can get another beautiful flick implosion out without Lunox escaping, then that might be the play. But they definitely need to get at least 2 of the damage dealers.
Yeah. So there's the light ultimate coming out. Avatar of Guardian manages to land onto 2. But when we see the follow-up, Bernadetta with a beautiful play in the backline. Oh my goodness. What a play from the Bernadetta. She found the angle, went into the Klecto Blades and the Petrify, catching everybody. It's a 4 for nothing exchange.
Oh, Bro, it's 4 for nothing. Tigreal, leave the lanes. Your Benedetta can clear them. Go mid, support your team.
This could be the end. There's 20 seconds. They have 20 seconds to take down 3 turrets in the base. It's only Kalia left in life. What's she gonna do? The pressure is on. There's a Hanavi there. Kalia needs to buy the time. She needs to start something. The waves are gonna push it. It's just 1 minion. Oh my god. Oh, the minion spawned just the right time. Just the right time. Will this be the seconds that they need? There's the fear that they're strike. They're trying to close it, but the wave has been
The
cleared.
minion is gone.
Oh my goodness. Minions MVP.
If they had one more player, if Benedetta or Tigreal went with him, they would have had the extra damage just to clear the minion waves a bit fast and couldn't got it that dub. That was a mistake made, but lucky coming out from PCR. The minions MVP in this match, definitely.
Oh my god. That spawn timing was unreal. It just spawned at just the right time. There's the conceal play coming out from the Tigreal. He's trying to get onto the Granger. Does he have the flicker? No, it's not, still another 30 seconds before he can get that. Gatto trying to frontline, get his way into that backline position. The Lord will be up in just around 10 seconds. This is going to be it. This is going to be a big one. This is beyond the 18-minute Lord. So it's whoever takes this Lord can potentially win the game. This is it. Everything on the line right now. This next few seconds will determine the outcome of this game.
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of back and forth poking here. Team Millen, we do see the pushback from the Tiger onto 2. The flicker from the Lunox already been committed. Pain in a lot of danger. Avatar got in already defensively. They need to rethink the strategy. There's a lot of ultimates being committed to no avail. But Akatsuki not letting out the pressure, going for that Lord. The focus is onto Sinister with that. Tigreal couldn't get the flicker implosion off. Feathered airstrike onto Gatu, but the Lunox is in the back line. Deletes that Faza, and that is a beautiful engagement. Author Blitz once again in a lot of danger. Will Lunox get that kill? Will Kalia get the knockup? But it seems that is not the case. They did let the roll reset, so Pisa has the ability to maybe take a breather, but they want to end this. Akatsuki definitely going for this end now.
Yeah, but the team is, it's only Suyu he's deciding he wants to go for the Lord. The team is in half a mind here as they catch on to the Lunox. Was that a mistake? That's big miscommunication here coming out from Akatsuki. Everybody was trying to achieve different things at the same time. The Lord is so low. If Baxia, when he's going to get close, have a jump Guardian comes in. Oh, they just managed to get the Lord. I think disengage. Oh,
they definitely need to get back, not fight this, wait for the Lunox to come back.
Yeah, what will she? This is, we're beyond the 20-minute mark. It was like it's like 45, 50 second cooldown.
I mean, at this point of stage, this is the point that a lot of players mistakes. I mean, this is the point you want all your players, marksman, mage, everyone needs to pick up immortality. I mean, one death can make you lose the game.
Yeah. And this is right now, you just need to have at least 1, maybe 2 waves crashing down with this Lord. Bit of a distraction being pulled out here by the Gatto. They just gotta focus on the objective. The objective is not the kills, the objective is the base. There's the avatar of Guardian, but he's taking so much damage. Gatto is taken down. However, Granger's trying to get the reverse kill inside there. Well, they do manage to take down the Granger. The dare strike coming through, but the flicker being committed, and the Lord being allowed to freely push down as Baxia, he's just trying to force everybody away. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be 2 take it down. It's a 1 take it down. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. The Lord is being melted. Not allowed to get close towards the base. Lunox is in, back in the mix. She takes down the main one. She takes down Hanabi. It's going to be a clear with the tsunami slam. There's the follow-up. There's the base lock. It's game to Akatsuki.
Oh, beautiful plays coming out from Akatsuki. I mean, that one mistake. The Boxer went for the kill, the chase kill onto that Kalia that had the immortality. That's why I said immortality is so important. And that chase kill in a 4v1 situation did cost him the game. So, what a match!
Yeah, absolute nail biter. Well played to both teams. You can see that PCR's Kuro picking up that MVP Fasa was devastating in this match. Beautiful positioning from the Fasa throughout the course of this game. It was just there towards the end as Lunox got the items, got that damage, just made sure made 100% certain to take out that the Lunox and the Hanabi from the equation. The players who can clear the waves.
No, definitely. I mean, good players coming out there, focusing on the correct players. The main problems in the hands of PCR, and I mean, once they dealt with the problem, it was just uphill, downhill from there. They just went straight snowboarding, got to the base lock, not even worrying about the last player, and they got the dub. That is what discipline brings you.
That is true. That game was an absolute crackerjack. Oh my goodness. There was just so much stuff that could have happened, should have happened. My goodness. But well done to Akatsuki taking the win. They were PCR giving them a good run for their money. But anyway, into the drafting screen we will go as we head into this second, maybe final game. Who knows? We'll get to see very soon what's going to be happening.
Beautiful game. So Lotus, what was your opinion about that game?
To be honest, there was a lot of chaos, but Akatsuki made sure to use the chaos to their advantage, which was their strength and PCR's weakness sometimes.
I mean, the counter-engage capabilities from Akatsuki definitely got them into the correct hands, and I have to say, what a play. I mean, PCR almost closing out that game with that minion MVP defense coming in clutch, and then it just went in Akatsuki's way from there on out. But nonetheless, that was the first game. It ain't over. Second match is up. Akatsuki going with that higher boost up, and PCR sticking with the Kufra as Yon has the second ban, banning out the Joy. So Joy getting a nerf, but still that Electro Beats is scary. I get nightmares every time.
That is true. But one thing about PCR's last matches, they were extremely good in the macro fights, but it was the micro decisions that really caught them off guard, because they could have gone with an extra person to this team fight or to push the lanes, which they did not, and then it cost them victory at the end of the day. So if this time they can fix more on the micro decisions, because it's the small decisions that leave the biggest impact. Hanzo getting banned out once again.
So, I mean, Hanzo definitely being a respect ban from a lot of teams this evening. I mean, we've seen him doing some clutch plays. I mean, as soon as you see that ninja form and he goes in like Kamui, and then you're dead. So it's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And once again, Akatsuki banning out Naruto himself, Lucas. So that's no Lucas, no beast form in the hands of PCR.
Then again, PCR does have some good players that can play the Lucas, so we definitely see from Akatsuki's side tonight that they have done a lot of research on their opponents. And if you do research and stalk your enemies' profiles every now and then you can at least win half of the drafting battle.
I mean, that's especially what happens if you like trying to focus on one drafting combo in your practice matches. Then you see, okay, this Oak played 40 games on Chip. He has played, the second most played heroes is 7 games on Tigreal, for example. You know he's going to most probably play Chip. So ban it out and throw the whole plan out of the window.
I'm born with talent.
That is true. Granger also banned, and Yon picking up the Guinevere before Team Merlin can even think about doing that. So Grim Reaper and Team Merlin do get the response picks. What do you think they will be going for this time?
So I definitely think we're going to see an X4 Carmilla combination. They might switch up, picking up the Carmilla, throwing out the Benedetta maybe, or maybe even move it up a notch and trying to do a counter engagement with the Minsathar, which they have featured before. But I would definitely say if you play against a Guinevere, you definitely need something that can survive. So you need Gatu or something that can sustain or counter engage. So one of those heroes being the Valor and Grip Reaper swapping out for the Tigreal. So Tigreal and a Valor already in the first pick. This gives Akatsuki the opportunity to counter pick the Tigreal to death. I mean, Tigreal is one of the heroes you can counter pick him very, very easily in the drafting phase.
Yes, that's why it's so important to have a Tigreal if you're really gonna go for Tigreal, to go for him as a last or second last pick once they've already picked their sustainable or escapee heroes.
Definitely. I'd always said even throw the Tigreal in as a third pick as soon as you see they pick their core heroes. I mean, Vexana being picked up and Pain going, showing us that a Badang, so that might be a Badang roam, and you aren't taking the Guinevere to the gold lane. So I have to say, Akatsuki already having a beautiful counter-engage strategy with that Badang into the Guinevere, into Vexana with an internal guard. The only thing they need is something to dish out a lot of damage or even chase the backline. I would say Suyu is not a bad pick here.
True, but do you think a Roger would also work in this comp?
So Roger is a bit iffy. So Grip Reaper once again picking up Hanabi. Hanabi not faring very well in the previous match, but he says, don't fret, that was just a warm-up match. This match, I've got it.
Grip, I am seriously fretting you're making my main look bad right now.
Like we've had this debate before, Lotus, me and you especially, against is a Nabi a good hero or is she Dark System? But let's not fight amongst me and you. Let's ask the viewers. So throw us a quick answer in chat. Do you think, just say, Hanabi, is Hanabi Dark System or is Hanabi good? Just throw me good or Dark System. I want to see your answers in the chat. As PCR bans out the Ixia and Akatsuki goes for that glue.
The thing with Hanabi, before anyone makes a decision, think about it objectively. Hanabi has anti-CC, a lot of damage, and just that ride-along damage that she has. So please think about this objectively, not about your friend that always trolls you.
I mean, overall, it is an interesting pick to have if you're not trolling and not playing with randoms. I mean, I've seen some good Hanabi players, and Hanabi currently having the ability to go with both the Trinity build as well as the crit build, having a lot in her arsenal. But PC are very focused on this gold laners from Akatsuki, banning out the Leslie, Ixia, and the Granger. Akatsuki going with that Ruby ban. So interesting to see. Author Blitz, I think he might just once again go for the Benedetta. But yeah, what else is there to pick?
Well, we know that Arthur Blitz can also play the Yuzhong if it could work here. I mean, Yuzhong into the Tigreal, into the Villiers could also work extremely well.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick. I mean, Yuzhong is a very, very good hero. And I mean, Yuzhong or even Lapu. Lapu's left open, but is not picked up in this game. So there's a lot of things. But the one thing you have to watch out is this Guinevere. If played correctly, she can definitely melt any sustained hero with a Wombo combo. But Team Merlin swapping out Karina in the jungle. When last did you see a Karina?
Wednesday.
Okay.
I remember one of the teams took a Karina and played extremely well. However, Leland VZ also picks up the Melissa. So Melissa is definitely one of the favorites tonight.
I mean, she has the that go away of hers that can counter a lot of the frontline focus heroes. I mean, Karina, if you time it correctly, you can stop her. Tigreal, you can cancel his implosion actually with the go away. So a very good hero overall. And this is interesting. Lancelot in the hands of Sasuke. Lancelot got a massive buff on his first skill, and so this is one of the heroes I say it's a very, very good hero if you can play it. But the question is Sasuke the new Kari, or is he the new Shroomsy that can't play Lancelot? Because I can't do it.
Let's hope it's leaning more to the former. But
you saw my Lancelot last night. It was horrible.
No comment. No comment. But the thing about Lancelot is he's just untargetable once he uses his skills. So you can be any type of hero that leaves the marks or the stacks. Stacks is the correct word. And he just zings a few times and then boom, no, you don't have any stacks on him anymore.
Oh yeah, but once again, GG to Lotus and her future side predicting that Yu Zhong, and that sets up the draft. But I have to say, I would definitely favor Akatsuki's draft in this regard. They have a lot more stackability, chaseability, bursting. They have everything in their lineup, even split push, wave clearing. They have the very, very balanced time now. So I do favor Akatsuki to take this dub, but previously we said the same thing, and VCR gave a very, very big fight.
That is true, and if PCR can win this match, they can take us into the sudden death round. But that would mean they need to focus on, as mentioned earlier, the micro decisions and that communication.
So one thing I have to mention, Tigreal running war cry on a tank. So once he puts 3 skills, his next damage will be heavy on a tank. So a master assassin as well on the Tigreal. So will we see damage Tigreal for the first time in the 5-man scene? That is the question. But with that, I will log off and throw you over to Lotus and Waylander.
So once again, everybody, welcome to the stream. I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful evening as we head into the second game. PCR up against Akatsuki. It's going to be Akatsuki in the blue this time around, PCR in the red. As the battle of the mid lane begins once more. Oh, nice second skill from the Tigreal, forcing the flicker out from the Vexana very, very early on.
That was a good play, but the Lisa easily goes to Akatsuki, and recently Lisa has been very popular, but Yu Zhong onto the Vexana and manages to take her down, taking first blood of this game.
Yeah, quick rotation there from Arthur Blitz. Very, very, very nice rotation. Getting that first blood. There's an engagement here from the Guinevere. It's going to be a Gwyn on the roam position. Haven't seen Gwyn on the roam for a very long time. Getting poked down quite a bit here by the Valier. Damage coming through from the Melissa. She has made the rotation towards the mid lane, which is nice to see. I mean, maybe not so much in the early game, but it's nice to see marksmen rotating, because you don't very often see them rotating. Although in the pro scene, they do rotate quite a bit.
That is true, but if marksman can... Oh, but Lancelot and Melissa onto this Honeybee and takes her down. Aegis and all.
Yeah. Full combination going in there from Lancelot, as he just made sure that he could take down that Hanabi. And so that's going to give Melissa the time to get fed a little bit. Some poke damage coming out from Vexana as she's scouting out. She's like, you got me once, Yu Zhong. You're not going to get me again.
True, but Akatsuki also made sure to go for this Hanabi. They knew that Turtle was up, but they also knew that PCR would rush to try to save their teammate instead of going for the objective.
Oh, there's the first crack into the backline. There's the Black Dragon poke coming out of the Yu Zhong. The Eternal Guardian not on the mark. As Yu Zhong, he's just zoning everybody away. He's gonna get CC'd up, but has the ability to proc that process. Oh, the Violet Requiem comes in from the Guinevere, and that's going to be a quick 3-for-1 exchange going in the favor of Akatsuki.
But in the meantime, while all that was happening, Valier was just farming in the top lane.
Yeah. Melissa made that rotation across, giving that extra player that little bit of extra damage is why you'd like to see your marksman start to rotate a bit. Because when they do rotate, it can... Oh, there's the Aegis coming out here from the Hanabi. She's dishing out quite a bit of damage. Melissa has to backtrack just to stay a little bit safe.
That is true, but once again, this Guinevere is just poking everyone in the mid lane, trying to annoy them as much as you can and bait out as many skills as you can.
Yeah, so as things stand, they've picked up just around, just slightly below a 2.5k gold lead. Oh, the flickers do come out. Melissa on the rear, but there's the implosion play coming through. Guinevere manages to reposition the second skill, dragging Melissa back under the turret. It comes out as a follow-up. As we're watching Lancelot in the mix, he's throwing out those kills. Can he get more kills? Oh my goodness, it's a 2-for-2 exchange. But Yuzong, Black Dragon form. There's the knock-up, there's the Petrify. The passive proxy takes down that Lancelot, and it's a 3-for-2 exchange going in the favor of PCR.
That is true. Right now, the Yuzhong is not playing as an initiator, but more as a follow-up for the damage. Wait until the team fight is over and then jumps in and tries to kill as many as he can.
Yeah, so he's gonna get engaged upon by 2. There's the counter engage coming through here. Nice wraparound play from the Tiger and the Valier. There's the follow-up. There's the engagement. First crack, not enough to save the Vexana. She's gonna get blown up double quick time.
It seems that Arthur Blitz is really making sure to not let the Vexana in any way farm up too quickly. However, Guinevere did put some pressure in his mid lane. Lancelot managing to take the turtle.
Yeah. Lancelot takes that turtle as Guinevere jumps in, jumps back out, using that skills very nicely. Oh, Melissa with the engagement uses that go away as well. They manage to take down Tigreal. However, Karina trying to find the angle to get to the backline onto that Melissa. The Eternal Guardian is front lining for them. They're just chasing everybody down. Karina gets CC'd up, but Hanabi chose that opportunity to just take down a turret.
That was a beautiful play from the Hanabi. She was gonna be too late for that team fight, so why not take a turret? You get a lot more map control, what they did not have in the first match. But Yuzhong gets taken down at 2v1.
What a nice play there from that the Guinevere and the Badang. I was quite impressed with the way the Badang used that second skill of his. Walked from behind and second skilled. Didn't just throw the skills, wasn't being too hasty. Positioned really nicely. Oh my goodness, Flicker comes out from Kuro, saving him from a potential kill there by that lance.
That is true, but Hanabi is also dealing with the 2v1 here in the bottom lane.
Pressure being applied. Melissa takes down the turret as Hanabi has to walk it off, get back to safety, get back to the base.
As we do see the next turtle after the match up in 20 seconds, and both teams have to make sure to be there on time. But with Team Merlin being on level 8 and Sasuke being on level 9, there is a bit of a retro gap.
Yeah. The Karina's not been all that effective into this match. There's the implosion play coming through. Karina goes in there with the shadow kill, trying to get something done, but manages to take down that Vexana and disengage. Or the shadow strike, shall we say. Hanabi into the mix, just doing so much damage. There's the Yuzong underneath the turret, gets that Black Dragon form, knock up onto 2, but the turret's doing so much, he manages to walk it off. Oh my goodness, that's another 2 kills going the way of PCR.
Right now they're playing extremely beautifully and making sure to work well with the macro fight and the macro plays.
The PCR switching gears here, it's 9-8 in their favor. They're hoping to try and translate this early game advantage that they have. I would say advantage, just sort of an advantage. The gold is fairly even, the kills is slightly on their side, but they are winning the team fight, so that kind of advantage that they do have, they want to translate that into a bit more map control.
That is true. As I mentioned earlier, map control is what they did not have in the first match. So if they can get it in this match, this could help them get into the sudden death match.
Yeah. So a bit of poke damage here as they try to chase down the Melissa and Gwen. There's the knock up onto the Tigreal, but they don't really want to go in full skills onto the Tigreal. It's just all about control right now. And once more, Akatsuki, they've taken down that top lane turret, so they've got the turret advantage on their side. Lancelot just dancing around here, helping clear this mid lane wave as they wait for the team to try to get into position. There's the engagement. It's the Shadow Strike coming out. Lancelot, he's into the mix. He manages to take down the Karina. Oh, but the implosion play got cancelled. Yusung, however, with the knock up into the backline. But the first crack from the Vidang CCing him up. Villian trying to sustain this, but Melissa, she's dishing out the damage. They're continuing with this fight in here. Oh, Melissa, she's so close to being taken down. She gets taken down by the Tigreal. However, Lance takes down the army in the backline. Does he have the skills available? Yes, he does. The Yusong goes in. He takes out the Gwen, but he's taken down himself. That was insane fight that went down here in the jungle of Akatsuki. But I don't think this is going to translate into any turrets.
That is true. Right now, they also seem to want to. Oh, first crack onto the Valier, but doesn't manage to kill him. Timberland is on, but will get taken down by the Sasuke.
And with that, it's going to be Lord advantage going the way of Akatsuki. They have this opportunity. Lance knows that he's going to have to call his teammates. Lance is not the best at taking a Lord. He's very good at securing it. But the Lord does a little bit too much damage to him, and he doesn't have that sustainability. There's the knock-up coming through here. Lance wants to go out. He's got the second skill. There's the implosion. And the first crack follow-up. There's Yuzong in the backline trying to get something done. Trying to zone everybody away. Lance is so low. Melissa is attacking in there. But I'm trying to CC everybody up. Lance trying to go in there. They secure the Lord. But Dan, he's going to pay for it for his life. But that was a worthy trade.
It was a 1-for-2 exchange in the favor of PCR. So right now they're still at 14-14. However, Melissa and another engaged start in the mid lane.
Oh, the Shadow Strike coming through from the Karina. Was that an overextension? I think so. The mid lane did fall in the favor of PCR, but Melissa got the kill.
So right now, almost 11 minutes into the game, and it's still just a 1,000 goal lead in the favor of Akatsuki, also with a 1 kill advantage.
Yeah, with this Lord, they can establish a bit more map control. A mini Lord is joining in here. Eternal Guardian has been committed. Tigreal is there trying to block the damage. There's the implosion play, but the first crack coming through as a counter engagement. The go away comes out as the Yuzong trying to get into the backline, but Dang once more sacrificing himself. Oh, the flicker plays as they managed to disengage. It's a 1-for-0 exchange so far, but everybody is so low. The Lord is battling down there on the bot lane. They're gonna have to try to defend it, so that's going to be a lot of advantage that's going to be taken here by the side of Akatsuki. They're pushing in onto this tier 2 turrets. Yuzong trying to get that defended. The same with Karina. It's already 1 tier 2 turret being taken down. The minions should be able to secure the second. So, oh my goodness, they will be happy overall, Akatsuki, with this team fight that has taken place, even though they did lose a player.
That is true, but right now, PCR only has 3 turrets left, which means 6 less turrets to deal with right now, so they have a lot more map control.
Yeah, so this is the point in time in the game you expect the lanes to sort of freeze up. Black Dragon form coming out. Wants to go in. There's the go away as the pushback. Vidang goes in there. Wants to land the first crack. Does push out there. But look at the damage coming through. They take down 1. They take down 2. Are they going to continue? Lance is into the mix there. The second skill comes out from the Vidang. Guinevere. She's taking so much damage underneath the turret. But there should be another tier 2 turret being taken down. Melissa focusing onto this. Oh. So it's a 2-for-0 exchange going in the way of Akatsuki, though I would say it's just the tier 2 turret that they should be able to achieve with this. The rest of PCR will be spawned up in time to potentially contest for this Lord.
That is true, but PCR is in such a difficult position right now. What do you think they could do to turn the tide?
It's got a lot to do with patience. There's the conceal play coming out here. Oh, nice second skill coming out. There's the Black Dragon form trying to chase down this Vexana. The fight is continuing. There's the knock-up. from the Guinevere. She hits that Violet Requiem into the backline. They manage to take down White. It's a 1-for-1 exchange, but it's the Melissa that's been taken down. So that's quite a good kill for the side of PCR. The follow-up here from the Yuzong. He wants to continue engaging. Gets knocked up again. The team trying to get through, but that wall's just stopping Karina from getting into the equation. She could have taken down at least 2 with that Shadow Strike of hers.
That is true, but right now Lance is already on this Lord, will be taking it without contest with the help of the Badang. And the Lord will be going down the top lane, I think.
Yeah, as things stand, it should be. There's the Black Dragon coming out once more from the Yuzong. So it will be another, 60-70 seconds before it has that skill available. The Lord will be spawning in maybe about 15 seconds or less. So no Black Dragon form for the defense.
That is true, but I thought PCR did make sure to unsync Akatsuki's lane, but it's not really working so well, and they just have to show patience, like you said. Conceal play from the Tigreal, but does get cancelled by the Guinevere.
Yeah, Lord allowed to move freely on the top lane. As the mid lane wave is being cleared up, having the Hanabi in terms of defense, this is where Hanabi really does shine. Difficult to CC her up and burst her down, especially when she's got turrets as well to help protect, and she clears waves so incredibly fast. Lord charges up, charging into the top lane turret. There's Melissa doing damage onto everybody, but down goes in with the first crack. Will we see the follow-up from the team? It's going to be just the one getting caught out. Lancelot manages to take down the Valier. Karina, she's into the mix, trying to get the shadow kill off, but she's taken down. Melissa just eating everybody alive, trying to sustain through. Oh, but Yuzong manages to get the pickup kill. They couldn't manage to get onto the base. It's a 3-for-2 exchange going in the favor of PCR. They've lost all the tier 3 turrets, but they're still in the game.
And at the end of the day, that is what matters.
Yeah.
So right now they just have to defend. Yes?
It's going to be difficult though, without the pressure that can be put on by the minion wave. Because when your minion waves are going to keep on pushing onto your base, it's not so easy to get into position to contest for objectives, and we've got 60 seconds to the next Lord.
That is true, but as long as you're still breathing and as long as you're in the game, anything is possible.
Let's get to see. They do have the Tigreal available. Oh, there's the Eternal Guardian coming out. Doesn't manage to land on the Tigreal. He does have that conceal play going. He's going to get stopped up. He's trying to front line for his team here, taking quite a bit of damage. 30 seconds to go to the Lord. There's the Black Dragon form coming out, circling around, using it defensively again. So that means no Black Dragon form, as the Lord will be up in another 20 seconds or so.
That is true. So right now, Yuzong definitely has to play a bit more conservatively with that Black Dragon form. I mean, you do have the Tigreal for frontlining, so rather let him do the frontlining and keep that Dragon form for when you need it. Hanabi's egg is also already baited out.
Yeah, so this is an uncontested Lord going the way of Akatsuki. Everyone should be close to the complete build. At least 5 items. Once more, the Black Dragon form has come out. Just being used to circle around. Is like maybe a scouting mechanism. There's the engagement here from Guinevere. The knock up onto one. She's trying to bait out some skills. The Lord is going to be making its way through the mid lane. As Akatsuki are trying to get these lanes synced up. They need the waves to crash. Gonna be difficult to try to get the lock on, especially with a Hanabi in the mix and a Valier as well. A lot of wave clear potential. There's a conceal play coming out from the Tigreal as they try to engage. They get onto just the Melissa. Melissa is being chased down. She manages to avoid the shadow kill. Uses that, or Lancelot rather, he manages to use that ultimate of his to escape. It's a 2-for-0 exchange. The Lord is into the base. They need the angle here for the Melissa. Melissa is busy chasing Yuzong down, but the minions have other ideas and they're ending the game. Anyway.
We can definitely say that the minions really deserve MVP in this match.
Yeah, minions focus the objective, but it's Sasuke getting that MVP for the side of Akatsuki, and the Yuzong for PCR.
And this is the first time I see that the Yuzong did use Sky Piercer. Not an item you usually see on the dragon.
No, indeed. It's not the most common of items that we get to see. But this is going to be game, set, match. Akatsuki taking this 2-0 as we move on to the third and final game of the evening and the third and final game of Group A. It's going to be Era 404 up against Renegades, the two group toppers, up against one another to see who is going to finally top the group.
Thrives in an era of peace.
So what did you think about the last match between PCR and Akatsuki, Shrimsy?
Good. It was a good game overall. I have to say, well played to Akatsuki on that objective-based gameplay. It definitely carried them throughout this whole match. But one mistake, this Yuzong played extremely well. But using that Black Dragon form so early when there was absolutely no danger, no abilities to set up, no enemies close by was definitely what cost them that late game. But overall, well played to both teams. And I have to say, I enjoyed seeing that Lance just zing around the map with skill.
Yeah, it was a very fun matchup. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick pause as we get that next lobby set for you. It's going to be Era 404 up against Renegades to see who's going to take the #1 spot in Group A. The results will be out soon, so you know which two teams out of the 4 will be moving on to the elimination bracket. But I'm gonna have this pause screen up and running for just a little bit. We will be back with you shortly, very, very shortly. Stay tuned. Don't forget to smash that like, share, and subscribe button. We will be back in just a bit.
Sensation. Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Take for their disease. Rage is like a weed. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. Cause we want retribution. Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Take for their disease. Rage is like a weed. Feed like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll pay for their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. Time to make them bleed. Cause we want retribution. Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
So hello everybody. That was my second hello, right? But anyway, so hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. It is the third and final game of the evening. It is going to be Renegades up against Error 404. As we stated earlier, it's the table toppers to see who's going to top the table, but that's enough from us. We're already into the drafting screen, so let's get that up and running for you.
Let's make
I mean,
As we head
excited to be back. I mean, this is the match we've been waiting for. I mean, the whole evening, the whole Group A stages has been back and forth, dominating performances, outplays, savages falling in the hands of Average Joe. And I mean, this is the teams you have to watch. And Lotus, what are you expecting from
When
this
the body
match?
suffers, the spirit
To be
blooms.
honest, I'm expecting a sudden death match going into that third match because these teams, as you said, are some of the table toppers, and they're just so good. And the macro plays, the team plays. So I honestly don't know who's gonna win, but I know it's gonna be exciting to watch, and I already have my popcorn ready.
Definitely. I mean, the banning phase, the teams were anxious to get this matchup started. And what? Zetian was not banned out. Zetian left open. Zetian picked up. So this is the debut of the new hero in the Waylander gaming community in the MSA Cup. But the bans already being, some of the bans we already seen, Uranus, Lapu, Lolita also being banned out. On the side of Renegades, there's the Florin and not giving Autumn her main hero. Benedetta out of the hands from Mimi, even though she's not here. And then Zushin also being picked up on the banning phase.
That is true. An average Joe, not waiting a second, already picking up the Arlet. Arlet has been extremely strong, especially with his recent damage fighter buffs. And the guy with a name in Japanese that I do not know how to pronounce, wanting to go for Granger.
Kini Suyu, I don't know. Anyway, so Granger also very good hero. And Arlord, as you said, a very potent hero in the current matchup. Also very good against CC because he has the burst capabilities. CC and Kimi being picked up for the side of Renegades. So, putting the picks aside currently, there's one thing wrong with this draft. Average Joe on the XP lane. That's something I haven't seen so far. So I'm heavy excited to see this matchup.
But Death Jackal also going for the Hanzo. Hanzo has also been featuring a lot these past few nights, especially with Big Boy earlier. His performance was crazy. So having the Hanzo once again, I can't wait to see what they do with it. But Lancelot already banned out of the equation.
I have to say, with Hanzo being picked up by Death Jackal, we did see both Beatrix and Death Jackal doing a swap arounds. Beatrix going for his YSS pick that was dominating. Death Jackal having a crazy good game on that Hanzo. He played it so well, it became a staple band for the rest of the evening and today's matches as well. So definitely setting up a very good game thus far. I don't know which side to pick. Both sides' hero pools are currently looking very, very strong. And the thing I'm most excited about is to see that Fury of the Phoenix being popped down onto RGQ.
That is true. But the thing is, Zetian's ult can be extremely good also by killing the Hanzo. Let's say Hanzo does a good engagement, but he has brought you so much low health, but none of the enemy gets to kill him. Zetian can just pop her ult and catch him.
Definitely. I mean, that's one of Hanzo's weaknesses. You need someone that has a map-wide ability or chase potential. Something like Lancelot. Moskov can take him out with the Stare of Destruction. The Dawning Light from Xavier is also a good combo. And as you know, the most common counter is just to pick up the Valentina, steal his ult, and as soon as he goes back to his body, you just follow him with his own shadow. But nonetheless, Hayabusa being banned out from Renegades and Glue being banned out from the side of Error 404. So Glue also one of the more banned heroes in this MSA Cup thus far.
That is true. With the recent XP laners buffs, Glue was also one of the ones that's buffed. And even before the buff, no one has been wanting to deal with him just yet. But Jinwoo is flashing that Minotaur.
Minotaur is a very interesting pick in this current lineup. Minotaur also having a very massive buff in the last patch. You did see him feature in the curtain raising matches of the MSA Cup, being picked up by myself. So it's a very good hero overall. But I want to see how it fares in a full tournament scene. As Aurum and Kaori picks up, you know that Kaori on that Leomord is deadly. And now he has that hard guard on top of that as well, which is a deadly combination if you can't burst him down. And Arrows showing us that Xavier.
Xavier is such a good hero because he has stuns, he has range. But Vexana, if we get to see another Vexana tonight, I would be so happy. We all know Angelic Fury. Yes? We all know Angelic Fury, and she has set up a standard for most Vexana players. But Eris does say wants to go maybe for the Nana or the Vexana.
We'll find a way, even when all is forlorn.
Interesting pick there. I would rather favor the Xavier in this exchange. I mean, Xavier having the ability to stun a lot of the chase capabilities with the Leomord, with the R-Lord, Granger as well, that can give them that extra bit of lockdown along with the Minoan Fury. So, but Vexana, not a bad choice. I mean, we've seen some devastating plays in the MSA Cup so far on the Vexana, but I have to say, if I go with draft alone, I would actually favor Error for a force draft currently with that hard guard Leomord combo.
I can understand why you're going for that, but I would rather go for Renegades because they have CC, they have knockup, and also the hero CC, which is sometimes a game changer.
CC with more CC, and they have also chase capabilities in the form of Hanzo that can bait out skills, even bait out that Angela hard guard that can be game changing. But once again, me and Lotus having completely opposite opinions, 1-1 in the voting stage. So viewers, get your votes down. But before you do that, let's hear from the master of Mobile Legends himself. I'll give you over to Wayland.
So welcome back to the stream. We've got a very interesting match here for you. As we can see, it's going to be Error 404 up against, I think this is an Angolan squad in Renegades. So all to play for in terms of who's going to take the top of the log here, as two very good drafts are going to be up against one another. Though the Minotaur pick for me is quite a good one. This is gonna be towards the mid game, a potential game changing pick, I would say.
I mean, that Flicker Minoan Fury can make or break a team fight. I mean, it can also be used very well to counter engage onto the enemy team. If you don't respect the range on his first skill Flicker, then you will definitely suffer. And I mean, he also has the healing capabilities that you need from against a support hero as well. You usually want to counteract support with support, and Minotaur fulfills both roles.
Yes, exactly. He's one of those hybrid roamers. Doesn't have the greatest sustain, shall we say, but is devastating once he gets that Flask of Oasis up and a couple of defensive items. So some poke damage coming in from Fasa. Want to make sure that they want to just do as much damage as they possibly can. Mino is taking quite a bit here, as there is a bit of an engage underneath the turret. Beautiful positioning here from Coyote as he gets first blood. He's underneath the turret. He escapes with 1 HP. Well, just slightly over that. Like maybe about 100 HP. But oof, that was close. Nice pickup from him.
Beautiful play. I mean, that was very risky running through the front of the turret. I mean, that slow coming in from the side of Renegades almost caught him out of position. But engagement here from the CC, not committing the curtain call, just trying to get pokes off. But that stun from the Angela, along with that sustained damage from the Zetian, is a good combination. I'm loving to see this. New combinations I've figured out with Zetian.
Yeah. So Angela does pair very nicely here with both the R-Lot and the Leomord, and Granger getting a solo kill up against the Kimmy. Nice play from him. So making sure that he's going to secure a bit of a gold lead, make his time a little bit easier as this first turtle of the match is being started up.
And definitely Anzu rather going for that, trying to get the pick off onto that Granger to get the gold lead. Even he gets the skill off, but Granger flickers out. Will he get that Kamui down 5 stacks? But no, low HP, and he gets sent back to the Shadow Realm, back to his main body. So overall, beautiful turtle being taken here from Error 404, just securing that early game dominance already with almost a 2k gold lead at the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, Hanzo wants to go in once more, committing the ultimate, engaging onto the Angela there, but she's gonna heal back up once more.
Interesting. And a beautiful rotation here coming out from the Kimi, all the way from the gold lane. We do see engagement here from the Leomord. We do see Minotaur taken down, and Vexana still at level 3. Minotaur also having a hard time with, as you know, the Roma always has the lowest level. So if one of your all players are not level 4, you can't reach level 4 with the roaming XP. So Very good play coming out here from the side of Era 404.
Yeah. Granger managing to stay safe, escape all the danger that was coming through as Renegades made the rotation. It's 4-0 in their favor. Right now, Minnow does have that Minoan Fury available, but the gold lead, it's huge for this part of the game.
The gold lead is already at the 3k gold lead at the 4-minute mark. And if you even look at the level gap, Zetian already having a 2-level lead over the enemy's mage. So that is a massive power spike that the Vexana is missing in this regard. So this definitely gives Era 4 the ability to go for this early game aggression. As we do see Hanzo onto that all-out final slash being committed, but that first kill, Kamui of his, just securing that beautiful solo 2v1 kill onto the top lane.
Yeah, Leomore just trying to get the body of Hanzo in case he was unaware of his surroundings. But there's the poke damage once more into Minnow. As we were saying, not the tankiest of heroes, but can have that ability to heal up. As you'll see, he's probably building, as you note, he's building in towards that Flask of Oasis. But a poke damage, but there's the hot guard coming out here. There's the engagement. They managed to take down one. It's the Eternal Guardian as well. Minoan Fury being committed, but there's not enough damage there from the team. It was just CC there to try to use as a follow-up. As Hanzo, he's going to get scouted out in the bush. The zoning being beautifully done here by Era 404.
Beautiful. They are loving how they're showing the discipline on when to engage and when to disengage from a fight. I mean, this discipline they are showing, if they keep this up, this will definitely be a game changer. Well, once again, Hunter just using his shadow to try to scout, maybe get a turtle still on. His energy is almost done and he goes back to his body, just saying safe. Granger make a beautiful rotation onto this mid lane, bursting down both the Minotaur as well as the Vexana to half health.
Yeah. Lot of pressure being placed here. So, there's the engagement now onto the Granger. Hanzo, can he get that pick-off kill? He's chasing him under the turret. Does manage to get that. As we see the Leomord with the hot guard underneath the turret. Going in. The Minoan Fury does manage to knock him up, but there's a follow-up. Angela, she's going to get chased down as well. That's a 2-for-1 exchange underneath the turret. So, it's a 3-for-2 overall because we do see the Arlot getting a solo kill on the XP lane.
And once again, Hanzo is onto that Loki, almost taking him down. But that's something you have to watch out for. If you have the Leomord, you just definitely need to check your timers on the Minoan Fury. Because one Minoan Fury, if you tower dive at the wrong time, will cost you, as we just saw. But one thing I have to say, oh, beautiful! What an old snipe ult from Zetian taking down that Hanzo. What?
Yeah, that final slash coming in from Average Joe. He scouted out the Hanzo. I think he is going for the damage build a lot because that was a lot of damage from him. He's picked up the anti-heal already.
Definitely. I mean, Arlot is a menace because, I mean, especially if you're against a squishy jungler, if he gets caught out of position and you have your full combos available, you can just burst him down with your Petri, first kill, final slash, everything, and any squishy is dead. But yeah, this might be engaging here onto the mid lane. Minoan Fury getting popped up, Zetian gets taken down, and the Granger's in a lot of danger, but they do fall out. There's a 2-for-0 exchange in favor of Renegades.
You see, this is what we were talking about. It's all about the timing. The Flask of Oasis is up. This is why whenever you're playing Mobile Legends compared to other MOBAs, you have the ability to see there's the engagement here onto this Arlot. Looks like he might be taken down. He is taken down. The hot guard comes out, but just not enough. However, Granger, he's trying to re-engage. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. Make that 1-for-2. But what I was saying was, it's like you can check the items of your enemies, so you have the ability to actually know when the power spikes are coming, which is something you really need to do.
Oh, one shot. Both CC and Vexana barely escapes. I mean, the items power spikes is very important. That Flask of Oasis makes a massive difference. And with Granger having that Malefic Roar already, that definitely puts the Minotaur and the CC in a lot of danger. but this Lord of the match being started up by Era 404. Minotaur is into the mix, but Hunter a bit behind. Will we see a flicker? Minoan Fury being committed. Granger secures the Lord. We do see them continue onto the Zetian. The Kauri with the hard guard onto that Leomord. Continue to fight, but he gets chain stunned up. They definitely need to get back. Kimi is chasing. The Hunter is also into the mix. Kauri in a lot of danger. That is one kill onto Loki. That's a 1-for-nothing exchange, but they did at least secure the turtle. And Olod doing a beautiful split push onto the bot lane, taking 2 turrets.
Olod doing the split push like a marksman. Wonder why.
That's average Joe mentality, bro. He's a marksman by heart.
I just tease. It was a good play.
I mean, you need to know when to split push, when to engage. I mean, he's having a hard time in the fights with all that chain CC coming out. But Granger, beautiful, deleting that Minotaur with that Death Sonata. Once again, Kauri is into the mix. Eternal Guard has been committed already. Hunter commits the Shadow Form, gets this skill off, but to no avail. This Granger is fed, bro.
Yeah, Granger is, as you can see, based on his items. He's already got 3 items complete, got that malefic gun up and running as Hanzo trying to chase down the Zetian, dishing out so much damage. The heals coming through from the Angela. Absolutely clutch, keeping Zetian alive.
I definitely have to say, Aurum definitely needs to deserve an honorable mention to maybe go for that MVP of the week with that clutch healing plays of hers, saving a lot of the teammates, make or break plays on that support roamers. I mean, that's doing very well in this current draft, I have to say. And that's what I'm talking about. Oh Lord, if you get caught out of position with a petrify, you dead.
Oh, there's Arlott into the back line there. Gets taken down himself as Shroomsy's commentator Cuss just strikes at the right moment in time.
Oh, but I mean, this Death Sonata of Granger almost taking down 2 players from Renegade squad. But I should not tell them that Granger is unkillable, because as soon as I say Granger is unkillable, he will die.
Yeah, Granger's got a gun in the name, not for no reason.
But there's Jacko once again onto Aurum. He gets that shadow form damage off, but Aurum just heals up. As you know, Angela just healing herself back to full health. The Lord is up in 20 seconds already. Error 4-4 having a 5k gold lead almost to their advantage. And this might be an uncontested Lord, because Renegades currently lacking a bit map pressure in their regard.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I suppose the frontliner right now is Jinwoo for the side of Renegades. Maybe they need to switch it up, get the CC to frontline for them. Because if she does, and he lands the Minoan Fury at just the right time, especially if the Leomord goes in, can switch things up. But the control that's being shown by the side of Error 404, keeping them in the mix, lots of discipline. Final slash coming through from the Arlott. Oh no, he didn't use it, he just went into those skills. There's the engagement here. Onto the Leomord by the Hanzo. They need to just buy a bit of time. This is a full 5v5 fight that's happening.
Definitely. I mean, this is a law dance that we all love and know. But this average Joe just trying to get onto the Hanzo. We do see the engagement. The Minoan Fury has been committed. The Fury of the Phoenix. Hard God is onto Leomord. He's doing a lot of damage. That's 2 kills for the Granger. Triple kill. Will we see another Maniac on the Granger? That's a lot of damage. That's a Maniac. Give him the Savage. No.
Hanzo's like, ain't no way you're getting a Savage. But this could potentially be the end of the game. The wave is in there. Hanzo's gonna have to engage onto the wave. He's gonna get busted down. But once more, we do have that the minion spawning at just the right time. I don't think they have enough health on this minion. No, Hanzo's like, I gotta retry this. I gotta retry this.
I mean, you don't want to give them the opportunity to end. I mean, they can still form up a clutch defense. I mean, I agree 100% with you. They definitely need to put the Minoan Fury a bit more on the surprised position, get the CC2 frontline a bit of damage, and then just put Minotaur from the side or from the back. Surprise, Minoan Fury, boom, full team wide. That's what they need.
Yeah. It always comes down to layering. One of the biggest decisions you have to make in both drafting and gameplay is between the XP laner and the roam. It's why tanky XP laners are the meta. It's who's the initiator, who's the counter initiator. Because you have those two roles that has to be fulfilled. Those are absolutely necessary roles in any team fight when you're engaging in it.
I mean, and with that being said, you can literally, it can be either or. It all depends on the situation. And if your XP and roam duo has the knowledge on which player has to initiate, that's when the major skill gap comes in.
Yeah. As Dunrai is saying, Shrooms, you better not glaze me on Monday. So once more, Lord is into the base, Hanzo's into the backline. This time around, CC is clearing a wave. Leomord hits that ultimate of his. The hard guard is on. He's doing so much damage in there as now the Minoan Fury gets committed, but he's taken out. The base is wide open. Granger from the side dishing out the damage. They want to fight even underneath into the fountain as his one more being taken down, but it's game set. I would say match. Not quite the match, just the game. First blood being drawn here by Error 404.
What a game. So one thing I have to mention, so it seems like it's not only average Joe that can play this Granger like that, but I don't know what to call this player. Ling Ling can also play very, very well on that Granger. I mean, almost getting the second Savage in the hands of Error 404, but only being able to secure a Maniac, because Hanzo was a slippery boy and he got away.
Yeah. Hanzo's like, you are not getting the Savage from me. Not on stream. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it is we're heading into the second game. The viewers are favoring Error 404 by just a marginal 2%. I think we might see, by the looks of it, looks like they're going to be a little bit of a swap out from Error 404 in terms of the substitution. Renegades keeping things steady for the most part, but I wonder how this first game is going to affect their drafting.
I mean, it can definitely be a make or break in either case. I mean, one thing I have to say is I'm not very favorable of the swap outs mid-game. Maybe if a player plays very badly, swap them out. But otherwise, if it works, why change it? But otherwise, nonetheless. So they definitely need to come out a few respect bans. I mean, we've seen Kaori dominate on that Leomord game after game after game. And he hasn't been stopped yet.
Mm-hmm. So possibly a respect ban coming through there, as Unite says we must call the Granger Al. AL. But he put it in caps, so that means we need to shout it, like Al.
Okay, but now the question is it AL or is it like Al like in Full Metal Alchemist?
No, it's AL. It's AL.
That's it.
I think so.
So let's ask our resident Asian expert. So Lotus, what does AL mean?
I have no idea. If you ask about Chinese or Korean, I would know, but
and what does
might know.
What does senpai mean? If you want to know, viewers, right, I will release that information shortly on live stream as to why we're asking Lotus what senpai means.
Please.
I see Lotus's words have dried up.
Why are you hiding?
Because
why are you hiding?
Yeah, what you must realize is this is not a safe space. No one ever said it was.
Valid. I mean, you want to jump on Discord? You want to show your face to us? We of course have to make you blush.
Alright, so we are waiting for the teams to ready up and fill in the lobby, and then we'll be heading into the second, potentially final game of the evening. So we've had a absolute cracker so far. It's going to be very, very, very exciting to see how things are going to change around, as it looks like Kaori has decided to join Renegades.
Huh? Oh, I see now. He's on the wrong side. I was like, what is happening? Is that
Is that even legal? Is that even legal?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't know.
yeah, Don Ryo is calling out all the blushes in the live chat.
So now the question is, Don Ryo, now that you are here and you've seen firsthand how our dear old Lotus or dear young Lotus is blushing, do you think we should make a compilation? Lotus blushes a life away, and then just put all Lotus's blush moments.
I don't think he gets a say in this. Let's not ask him.
But oh my goodness, it's been quite a bit of a stream so far. We have, do you realize this is the 3rd hour of our stream?
Really? It doesn't feel like 3 hours.
Does not at all. So it's Kami that's being brought into the mix for the Renegade squad, as we have, I think, a spectator. Do we need to get rid of said spectator?
Might need to get rid of them. I don't know. I don't recognize the profile pic. I mean, it's a couple's photo, so.
Kick.
Yeah.
Bye.
We'll wait for our referee to sort all of that out, and then we're gonna head into the game. It's been what an evening. There was some absolute madness matches, though I would say my favorite game of the evening so far was Akatsuki PCR, the first match, game number 1.
That's two back and forth, two clutch moments that won and lost the game. I mean, what a match.
Yeah, so Dan Ryo saying Scarp has Christopherson moments and Lotus has blush moments.
But now the question is, if Lotus has to ever change squads from Immortal Order, I think she might have to move over to Kitsune Blush. It fits the description.
No, or Scarlet Mayhem. It's also whichever one you want to go with.
You have options.
Alright, so the teams are ready. We're just going to let the ref know that we're good to go. We're good to head into the next drafting phase. And buckle your seatbelts. This is gonna be a crazy second game.
Definitely. I mean, this is the make or break moment. So at this point of stage, if you are Team Renegades, you definitely need to crank it up like 17 gears. I mean, if you lose one more game, you are not out of the tournament, but out of the match. You lost the match 2-0. And I mean, this definitely shows us what we can expect after the group stages as soon as we head into the knockouts.
True. But as we go into the drafting phase, Jinwoo bans out the Granger. They do not want to see any savages or maniacs tonight.
I mean, 100% deserved respect ban coming out from Renegades. I mean, that Granger in the hands of Error 44 has been devastating. And they also respond with their own respect ban. The Hanzo from Death Jacker has been taken out.
But here's the question, would Renegades ban the Angela or the Florin? Which one do they think is more of a problem? Because I'm pretty sure they'll ban either one of those supports.
I would say Florin is more of a problem. I mean, you can deal with Angela if you take out the Lumord. I think they should really either try to counter-pick the Lumord or otherwise just ban him out, as they do take out the Zetian. And once again, the Uranus is taken out by Error 404. So I think they have some PTSD with Uranus, eh?
Honestly, what is wrong with Uranus?
Okay, wait, let me rephrase that. Okay, so he got a massive buff in the last patch, and the change on his passive is massive. So his healing capabilities has skyrocketed, and he also does more damage on his basic attacks based on the amount of radiant stacks he has. So it's a very, very good hero currently. It just needs to still find the spot in what heroes to play with.
That is true, because most people don't use him in Classic or Ranked because he does have that sustainability, but not the best damage. Vassalord picking up the Sicilian. Oh, the Bats Feast. We get to make everyone bats crazy tonight, it seems. But Oram wanting to go for the Rafaela.
The hunt begins.
Rather swaps out Average Joe and the Ruby. So now the question is, we've seen Average Joe feature the Ruby in the gold lane. So will they put him on the gold lane, or will he once again go to the XP lane and leave AL to go to the gold lane? I mean, he had a dominating performance as well in the previous match.
That is true, so I guess they're still deciding. Because right now, in the hands of Average Joe, Ruby is now a flex pick, shall we say.
I mean, a flex pick as your first pick is one of the best to take. And once again, Zetian is being left open. And looks like AL is picking up the Zetian. So looks like there's a lot of role swapping coming out here from the side of Error 404. This shows you if one player can play multiple roles very well, it can throw your entire counter drafting or drafting setup up in flames.
That is true. But Death Jackal going for the sun. But if the Zitian is gonna be present this evening, Renegades definitely have to make sure to get the Purify spells ready.
I mean, even take something that can, I mean, as you said, the sun can bounce onto that Zetian with his clone and then just knock out a passive. So not a bad pick, but I'm not a big fan of Sun. I mean, as you see, with the season reset being back into Epic and Legend rank, Sun is the only jungler a lot of players play. But Lucas being left open, and Kami picks up that Lucas. So very, very interesting draft so far from the side of Renegades. And I'm waiting to see what type of roam they're going to pick up. Are they going to counter maybe with a support roam, or they're going to stick with what they know and pick up a big tanky boy?
Well, it seems that they're gonna be showing some wildcards tonight, so... But what do you think would be better paired with this XP laner and jungler?
So the thing is, the Sun is more of a hit and run, so he can, if you get it onto a squishy hero, you can take him out. But if this team fight lasts any longer than a few seconds, Sun means absolutely nothing. So they definitely need to get maybe either focus on supporting the Lucas with the front line, or playing a pick-off comp, which they also have the ability to go. But Kaori once again onto that Lancelot, so this definitely limits Renegades picks quite a bit in that regard.
That is true. And right now for the bans... Oh, Melissa ban. Banning on
Interesting.
Melissa.
Let's go.
Earthon or Little Tiger also gone from the equation?
As well as Kufra with his big right hand is also taken out of the equation. So one ban left for the side of Renegades. They still have a few options, but I would definitely focus on to Aurum. I mean, she still has the Angela, Rafaela, Estes, question mark. That's weird. Estes. What do you think about the Estes?
Estes is actually such a good hero, but he's a lot like Hanabi. most of the bad players play him, so people don't have a good opinion of him.
So, Estes is very good in the right comp, but with a Lancelot on jungle, I would definitely not favor the Estes, but the Carmilla being a very, very good pick. I mean, they can layer their skills so well. The Cursed Blood, follow up with the I'm Offended, then into the Fury of the Phoenix. Lancelot just dives whoever escapes, and then it looks like Loki being the final pick could either be XP laner or marksman, just to follow up with the damage. They are lacking a bit of damage, so I would definitely put the Ruby onto the XP lane and taking a big damage, a gold laner.
But Jinwoo going for that tank that you mentioned earlier, and Beatrix JK on the Harith versus the 1-1.
1-1,
What do you think of that?
1-1, 1-1. So 1-1 got another nerf. This is a 420, 100,000 and 17 millions nerfed, but she's still very potent in the correct hands. So overall, that is the damage they needed into the gold lane. So I have to say I'm quite impressed with what is happening currently, but it's very chaotic drafts. I mean, the Lucas into the Akai, it's interesting. But I have to say, if I look at drafts alone, not being biased at all, but I once again would favor the Era 404 draft. I don't know what's your opinion.
To be honest, I agree with you on the Era 404 because Renegades have Sicilian, Harith, Lucas, Akai, and Sun, but there's damage, but it's not enough.
I mean, if you can sustain through the Harith and the Sicilian damage, unless Lucas builds full damage, it's going to be hard. I mean, they're lacking. It can go good if they get the early game snowball. They have a very good early game draft as well as late game with the Sicilian. So it's going to be interesting. It all depends on skill. This all comes down to a skill matchup. But nonetheless, I know you guys love hearing my voice. But with that being said, I would give you over to the Blusher, Lotus, and the main man, Waylander himself.
Yeah, well, I think maybe we will definitely get a Blusher sticker up and running for everybody. I strongly suspect that is what the fans want, so it's what we will give the fans. As the teams are starting off on the same side of the jungle, as we can see. In terms of the draft itself, like Sun, once it hits the late game, right, Sun can be very, very, very devastating. But there's some nice counter picks coming through from the side of Era 404. With the Lance can deal with the clones coming through from the Sun. Though that 1-1 pick, however, is a beauty of a pick. I mean, 1-1 can really get the passive off of an Akai.
That is true, but the problem with the Zetian is Sun can just throw one of his clones at her, and her passive, that shield, is just gone, and then it's too easy to catch her out.
Yeah, that is very true. But it is a 1-1 with Inspire. Oh, there's the engagement here. The shield comes through as the flicker has to be committed by Jinwoo on the Sakai. He's taking so much damage. He's going to be first blood. Sun tries to get the counter to engage on, but the team is there to protect the 1-1. She is a bit low. Sun goes back into the mix. The flicker comes out. The Sanguine Claws is in there. Coyote on that Lancelot just dancing into the turret and then back out again. So big old fight. Lots of skills being used. Everybody quite low. But the first blood going the way of Era 404.
And right now, they also are going to have the turtle up in 3 seconds. And it seems that Era 404 is going to be there quicker than Renegades.
Yeah, engaging onto the Ruby right now. Ruby just has that ability to sustain through everything. As we see once more that Lancelot using the skills just to force back the... I don't know who paused there. It wasn't us. But we're back into the game once more. Just to force out the clones from that side.
That is true, but I know Lancelot is already on this turtle. We'll probably take it without contest. And this already gives a 1,000 gold lead for the side of Era 404.
Yeah. So this battle of the gold lane going the way of Al at this moment in time. He does have the 1-1 up into the Harith. If he can avoid the damage that comes through from that clash of waves ability, which is the first skill of the Harith, he can actually get the stacks necessary to pop that ultimate, the crossbow tanks. Aurum trying to make a move underneath the turret, gets a lot of damage. There's the engagement on the sun. They managed to take down the heavy spin comes out from the Akai, just zoning everybody away. So that's a kill on the board for the side of Renegades.
The Carmela really shouldn't have gone through that turret. It would have been safer to go with the Zetian. But live and learn.
Yeah, Zetian being engaged upon here. Once more the clones doing their job. Average Joe making the rotation towards the mid lane. It's a setup for a battle. Sun seizing the opportunity to try and get onto the 1-1. 1-1 does get the crossbow tanks off onto the Harith, but he has the shield. Will we see the counter engage? Sun waiting patiently. He doesn't have the damage just yet. As the side of Arrow 404 trying to make the counter engagement here. Lancelot uses that second skill combination, takes down the Harith. Harith stayed in just for a little bit longer, but 1-1 coming back to the mix. 1 HP escapes.
But there was a beautiful ult from the Zetian. Just when Sun was about to jump onto the 1-1, Zetian's ult just came down and managed to stop him and give 1-1 the chance to escape.
Yeah. So Average Joe getting a lot of gold as Lucas made the rotation towards the mid lane to put a bit of pressure on the map. Nice camp here from Aurum and Loki in the mid lane. They get a bit of poke onto Jinwoo. He's going to try to scout them out or force them out of the bush, try to create the advantage for his team as it is time for the second turtle of the match.
And this 1-1 doesn't really get a break. Everyone wants to camp her lane.
Yeah. The flicker heavy spin comes out here. They manage to pin the 1-1 down. Yes, they do with the push away. As the Zephyr Force does come out, as well as the Cursed Blood. Lancelot into the mix underneath the turret, but has to disengage. There's the Sun. He delayed his timing. He wants to go in onto the Camilla. Camilla has to be forced back. And so with everybody low, Sun now has the opportunity to try to take this objective. Lancelot dancing in, wants to try to get this wave cleared in. But it is going to push through anyway. Akai forcing them to not want a recall, but the stuns are coming through as they're going to, looks like they might, will they take down the Akai? Jinwoo walks out. Oh, but he does manage to take it down here as now the chase is on. Sicilian is taken out as well. As Lucas did get a solo kill on the top lane, the clones of Sun just being removed from the equation really quickly. So he's going to have to leave this uncontested.
But right now, the Sun is good at lane pushing, so if next time he also can't get the turtle, he can rather go for a lane pushing, because the turrets are much more valuable than the turtles at the end of the day.
Yeah, that is so. As we see the engagement onto Camilla, they just want to force her back. Maybe force out some skills, maybe get the recall going. At least that gives you a bit of map control. Because map control doesn't come just in from the turrets. It comes in from control of the mid lane. There's a Zap Force, but the crossbow tang underneath the turret. As Harith manages to get that vengeance off. Akai already in position, waiting for the side of Arrow 404 to make their move. They do have a slight gold lead on their side. There's Akai, gets the heavy spin off. Just pushing or forcing everybody back. It's one of the things with Akai to land that heavy spin to trap somebody against the wall. Deadly when it happens, difficult to do.
That is true. However, this Ruby is about to deal with a 2v1 in the bottom lane.
Yeah, the wave, this turret being pushed in here, how they're trying to get something done. Akai taking a lot of damage, flickers back. It's the Bat's Feast coming out. However, it's a beautifully timed Cursed Blood coming in from Camilla, as even the Zabin Force not enough to get that Harith to safety. So that's a 3-for-0 exchange in the top lane.
That was a beautiful from the side of Area 404, and they also made sure to get another advantage. They're already 3,500 gold ahead of Renegades.
Yeah. It is a substantial gold lead at this early stage of the game. Actually, not even early. We're into the mid game. Didn't notice how fast the time went down.
Do you think that Era 44 would actually wait for 8 minutes for Turtle to turn into Lord before going for it?
Well, most probably, the way things are heading at this moment in time, we do see the Lance is a few seconds. I personally would want to wait. I mean, it's just 5 seconds to go. Or maybe his team is informing him of that, or maybe not. They're deciding they want to take the turtle. I would actually prefer the Lord, because you can achieve a little bit more with that.
Sure, but we wanted it that way. Lancelot did not.
Yeah. So once more pressure being placed here. Sun with his clones out. Meanwhile, Ruby is being chased down here. The Angry Claws, beautifully timed there by Vasto Lord. Meanwhile, we go back into the action on the top lane. There's the crossbow tanks. Taking down one, taking down two. The follow-up is in this session. Hit that ultimate of hers. That, what is it called again? The Phoenix something or the other.
The Rage. I think it's the Rage of the Phoenix.
Oh, the Rage of the Phoenix is what we shall call it, according to Miss Blusher. And with that, some further map control being established by the side of Era 404.
As they will also be taking down this mid lane, this way widens up the map so much for them, and Renegades have to go on the defense for their buffs.
Yeah, the chase is on here. Onto the Lucas. He has to pop the Vengeance, but he's gonna get taken down. The Heavy Spin comes out from the Akai, forcing the Ruby back underneath the turret. Will they be able to take the Ruby? Oh, she's sustaining through so much. The Bat's Feast comes through, but that guy with a follow-up as he gets in underneath the turret to get another kill. Sun, manages to escape, but that's a 3-for-0 exchange as Arrow 404 switched up gears.
So right now, almost 10 minutes into the game, it is already 13-4 in the favor of Era 404, and they already have a 7,000 gold lead.
Yeah, that's a huge goal lead as Don Ryu says that it's Fury of the Phoenix.
Thank you, Daniel.
It's either that it's either that or Furry.
Yes?
Or Furry of the Phoenix.
Let's go with Fury.
Because that's what Don Ryu actually said. It's Furry of the Phoenix. I'm teasing Don Ryu. But it's -1 R, just so you know.
Daniel, you really have to fix your English debit card. Oh, but the engagement onto 1-1 Zetian's ult goes in. Akai in with a full spin, but just uses it defensively right now.
Yeah, so the control is on the side of Arrow 404. Renegades in a bit of a tough position here. This first Lord of the game should definitely go uncontested to them, as they will try to sync up the waves and potentially take down at least a tier 3 turret, maybe? Are we hoping for that?
True, but Sun is already moving to this bot lane. I think he might be wanting to clear it. No, he's gonna be camping.
He's gonna have to use the split push strategy.
Yes. Tigger would say that. Oh, but 1-1 kills the Lucas.
Yeah, 1-1 is quite fed at this moment in time. As you can see, she's already got 4 items fully completed. Moving in for the Rose Gold Meteor as the next item, dishing out the damage. So Lucas has been eliminated, as they will try to get this final shield being popped here as the Lord makes its way through. They do have the potential to try to take this down. Ruby wants to try and get in a position to do the front line. Akai with a heavy spin, just trying to force everybody away. Wants to protect the turret, as we see the 1-1 with the crossbow tang set. Oh my goodness. The amount of damage. Finally, there's a shutdown. The Lord has been taken down. The tier 3 turret has not been taken down. Everybody went into fight. Ruby is in a 1v everybody situation here. Will Ruby get the kill? Ruby gets a kill. Oh my goodness. Now she just needs a minion wave to heal back up. Sanguine Claws pulls the Ruby back in. And it is going to be Master Lord on the Sicilian who makes the Ruby pay.
That was a beautiful play from the Sicilian, and managing to take down the sustainable Ruby, but Zetian is just there clearing the waves as if nothing is wrong.
They do have
At Carmella. Yes?
they do have quite a bit of control right now, Era 404. It's gonna be difficult for Renegades to come back from this, but if they use, because they don't have I would say a team fight composition in comparison to the side of Era 404, because they've got some big team fight ultimates. But they do have a lot of wave clear and split push potential. They can use that to their advantage. But once again, Akai forced out with that heavy spin. Akai is one of the heroes that 1-1 loves, because you can set your ultimate on that Akai really, really nicely.
That is true. But if the Akai, if Era 4-4 once again oversteps the boundaries, Akai can go in from behind, use his ult, and then push him under the towers. That is usually how an Akai also works in cases like this. So Renegades definitely have to use their heroes to their full advantage.
Yeah, it is going to be quite tough now. Lucas is going to be engaged upon underneath the turret. 1-1 is in there. There's the Curse Blood. The crossbow tanks is in the mix. It's doing so much damage. Oh my goodness. Just continuing. This is going to be another kill. As finally 1-1 is taken down after getting a triple kill. It's a 4-for-1 exchange. The Lord is up. The waves are being pushed in here. I think Era 404 will just take a tier 2 turret and then secure the objective.
That is true, and right now Harith is the only one to defend. No contest for the Lord. And Era 404 can just go back to syncing up the lanes, because if they can get one good lane push in, manage to take everyone down and not jump into a full-blown health turret, they can win the match.
Yeah. That is possible. There's the engagement here. Akai with that heavy spin, but it's forcing everybody away. Lancelot, they try to chase down. Oh, the Curse Blood doesn't manage to land onto anybody as Lancelot's second skill, but Zetchia's Fury of the Phoenix stunning up quite a bit. The Zabin Force comes out as Lucas is in the mix as well. He's got the Unleash the Beast capable, but once more, 1-1. She's diving in the backline. The Bats still come out as Lucas, he's turning around, trying to do as much damage, sustaining through so much. But Ruby as well. Will Ruby be able to land the kill? She lands the Arm Offended, gets the setup for the team. They have the opportunity. The Lord is in the base. It's a 3v2 situation here, but they don't have the 1-1 to lock onto the base. Can the defense come out as we see Vrasto Lord on that Sicilian trying his best to survive. Oh, the second skill is in there. There's the heavy spin from the Akai, forcing everything back, including the minions. But this fight is still on. Sun is back alive. The second skill, Gauri comes in there. They manage to take down the Lancelot. There's the Fury of the Phoenix once more as Jinwoo has been taken down on that Akai. But they get to live to fight another day. To Renegades.
But the problem was that Lancelot, when his entire team was pushing for the base, he was clearing his enemy's jungle. If he was there for that team fight, they could have ended the game sooner. But right now, he just gave a free opportunity to Renegades.
To mount a potential comeback, because they do have a very strong late game draft. I mean, once Sun gets his items up and once Sicilian builds enough stacks, he can change the course of a game.
That is true. And the Sun, as you said, is already here at the bot lane wanting to push out the turrets, and Ruby is already camping, waiting for her next spray.
Yeah. So Sun using this opportunity, this is the split push potential of the late game Sun. He's got his full items up and running. We're heading towards the 17-minute mark. The Lord will spawn before the 18-minute mark. The map control is on the side of Era 404, but it's not a done and dusted game just yet. Simply because of the timing of the match.
That is true, and we do see another engagement here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, look at the damage that Sun is doing onto the Ruby. There's the Curse Blood, however. Sun is taken down. That Curse Blood, beautifully timed. Lucas is into the backline. He's gonna try to frontline this here. The crossbow tank comes out 1-1. 1-1 is the definite MVP for this particular matchup.
That is probably so. But it looks like Era 404 might want to put as much pressure as they can, and if they cannot go for this ending, they will be going for Lord.
Yeah, the wave clear potential from a Sicilian and Harith, and especially with an Akai, it doesn't have the heavy spin, but if it's available, can make it very difficult to lock onto the base.
True. So right now Area 404 has to play it safely. Do not get arrogant. Do not overstep the boundaries. Play it safe, play it smart, and then you can end. But the same goes for the side of Renegades. So this match can go either way right now because both teams are mostly full build and ready to try to take this match.
Yeah, so Lancelot trying to clear the wave, gets that second skill off once more, but it's the real danger, the real damage is coming out from this 1-1. Managing to very easily get the crossbow tangs off. The Lord marching its way through the mid lane. The waves are not synced. Could this prove to be problematic for the side of Era 404? As Sun being stunned up there, these clones. Oh, so quick the damage comes through. Akai is taken down. There's going to be this Avon Force into the Fury of the Phoenix. Crossbow tanks into the mix there. 1-1 taking on everybody as it's going to be game, set, match. The way of Era 404. Finishing top of Group A. And that concludes the final matches for the evening here on Group A. And for us on the stream.
For the evening.
Yeah.
That was a lot of action for one evening.
That was. 3.5 hours of Mobile Legends action. I don't think any one of the viewers at home can complain about lack of Mobile Legends actions on the Waylander Gaming channel.
I watched this whole match, and what a play coming out from both AL and Kaori. That Lancelot play, zing, 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 zing into oblivion. It's crazy plays. The crossbow tank placements.
That is true. It was and a very, very, very good match there. As I'm just looking at Pixie Fairy's comment that they held the defense as strong as they could. It was a pretty solid defense from the side of Renegades there. If the game just lasted a little bit longer, they had the potential to change it. But it was team fight up against split push. It's one of the things that when you're playing, you have to be able to not just know how to draft to deal with and how the play style works for it, but also like how to counter it depending on which draft you have. But it's always a fun matchup to watch, that split push up against team fight.
They could have done better if they did use that split push to the full advantage, because the Sun was now and then clearing waves but not really pushing. If you focus more on the pushing and the Hearth more on the damage, maybe the outcome could have been better. But it wasn't just one person's fault for the loss. It was a lot of communication, teamwork, and faults from everyone's side.
Well, that's the thing when it happens in any game. Whenever you play, like I remember back in the day when I actually did get a chance to play, there's things that you live and learn, and it's the reason why MOBAs are so extremely fascinating. Because as we know, there was just a new update released, and in MOBAs, updates are big things. I mean, the moment an update happens, it changes meta picks, and it's not just the heroes, because like most people look at it and like, oh, this new hero is going to be overpowered. All right, remember, this is a 5v5 situation. You don't play for yourself, you play with and for your teammates. So it changes the way drafting goes, it changes the way rotation goes. One of the ways, like for instance, that you counter the split push potential is by picking up roams that have high mobility. So that allows you to transverse the map very quickly to stop the split pushing as it's happening. Things like that. Picking up certain heroes, like a Lu Yi pick, as an example, into a team that has that split push potential. It allows you to transverse the map extremely fast and block off certain bits of things. Because Lu Yi is, in my opinion, one of the best mages because she has team fight capability and the ability to set you up for split pushing. So, very slept upon hero, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, overall, just in general, any hero with map-wide capabilities is a good hero to have. I mean, Moskov is in the meta for a reason. Lu Yi is good. The Zetian, she's meta for a reason. Yes, she has stun capabilities, life steal, crowd control, sustainability, but it's the map-wide vision. Wise is the map-wide control that you have on a hero is what makes a hero good. I mean, that's the reason why we had to chip Lu Yi meta, because that was double map-wide control that you had on your team. You need one more hero and then game over.
Yeah. Agreed. Because it's the map size on Mobile Legends is extremely small in comparison to other MOBAs. So if you can actually move across the map quickly, or if you get vision on what's happening across the map, it makes a huge difference. And especially that word vision, because like for those of you who play games like Dota 2 or League of Legends, you know how important vision is in a game. Like here, we don't have items that you can purchase that give you, like wards, for instance. So it's having a roamer that supplies the vision, having XP laners that do so is of extreme importance when you are playing this game. But anyway, that's enough, I think, from us discussing the strategies and the pros and cons to how this game works. Lotus, any final blushes before we end the stream?
Well, earlier when you said back in my day, I thought we also have a new meme sticker, which is Waylander, back in my day.
Now you got to get me with a walking stick and just something to shake at the young kids on the street.
Yeah, because I mean, whenever we have a conversation and then Way's like, you remember the days when it was still the only competitive game was Quake 3? I'm like, yo, bro. Yo.
And he goes like, well, I mean, back in my day.
But don't you speaking about back in my day, don't you guys enjoy listening to the old gamer stories?
True.
Valid. I mean, that is experience and fun. I mean, like back in my day, the thing I miss the most about gaming, and not gonna lie, like I'm loving the variance, the difference that gaming brings to us. Each game fits to a certain player's play style. You can play whatever you want, and I mean, online has been awesome and all, but I missed old school LANs.
Oh yes. Yes.
Rocky on with your rig in your arm, a bag of chips, and then just going to a random oak's house and then just spending the whole weekend there gaming.
Yeah. It's I mean, we do have a lot of these online tournaments. I mean, we're featuring mainly online tournaments. At some point in time, we're gonna have to get the Switch going. We've got to get to not all the time, right? Because it's not like everyone has the ability to travel all the time. But at least every so often, if we can get a venue, we can get everybody in there. We get to see what a lot of people look like in real life.
And then you all can just see frame by frame Lotus's blast face. I mean, that's something you don't want to miss.
Yeah, I think we've got at least like a 20-second clip here out of this whole thing.
Easy.
Yeah. And if you guys stay tuned for our up-and-coming podcast, you'll know what the senpai joke is all about. I don't want to reveal too much just yet, but we will be revealing all soon.
Can I bribe the editor?
So, who's the editor?
Somebody.
Yes. So since you don't know who's the editor, by all means, bribe the editor.
I'm the editor. I completely know how to edit videos.
Fuck says it's cop, but okay.
But anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in to watch. It was a pleasure, as always, having you all with us all the way to the very end. It's been a mammoth of a stream. But I'm sure you've enjoyed the Friday evening you've spent with us as much as we've enjoyed spending it with you. But from myself, Waylander, Lotus, Shroomsy, the Waylander casting team, we know we're still missing one person. It's Scarp Skinkle. He'll be back with us shortly. Don't you stress about that for all the Scarp Skinkle fans out there. But anyway, from us, the Waylander gaming team, it's going to be goodbye and good night until we catch you on the next stream. Thank you for watching.